So we were supposed to have this great Star Wars scroll to introduce this episode. And I bet you're wondering right now why you're not seeing that awesome scroll. Well, seriously, fuck Disney. That we are stuck in the timeline where Alex Jones is right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, degenerates and extremists, patriots and domestic terrorists, thank you for joining tonight's special episode of O'Donnell for Liberty, Late Night Libertarians, Episode 2, Extremists Strike Back. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, keep up to date with future shows, and if you like what you see, you can be an early supporter of this program by following the Patreon link in the description and signing up to join our production team. Tonight, I'm joined by a panel of fine extremists. First up, we got Bill Barger from the New Hampshire Mises Caucus. We've got Harrison Kemp from the Libertarian Party of Maine. And finally, we have the swaggerest trucker in all of the Liberty movement, Reed Coverdale's mustache. We don't have an agenda. We don't have a timeline. We're going to give some shit away, and we're going to take some calls. But tonight, Chet's in the driver's seat, so buckle up or don't. Push the pedal to the floor, and let's get the show on the road. Gentlemen, how's it going?
I'm not in the driver's seat, or I am, but I'm not driving in case anyone asks. I am definitely
allegedly
in a truck stop, sitting still, just in case anyone wants
allegedly.
So, yes.
Reed is beta testing the new Tesla truck.
That's right.
So how's the self-driving truck, Reed?
It works pretty well, but this one has a stick shift and 3 pedals, so it's kind of weird. I'm not used to this type of self-driving truck, but you know, it's an interesting design for sure.
Hey,
it's definitely the most advanced.
Yeah.
Well, as Reed's name
the
on
most
chat,
advanced piece of equipment on the road.
As Reed's name in the description is pointing out, it is an auspicious day. It's something that we should probably consider a fucking holiday. Unfortunately, 3 years ago, one of the bravest Americans left us. And, well, he doesn't necessarily warrant a moment of silence. He definitely warrants our respect. And 3 years, rest in peace, John McCain's brain tumor.
Absolutely, 100%.
A real American hero.
I feel like John McCain was one of those characters who went out there and gained everybody's respect and trust basically by being a scumbag and saying we should kill more people. And I don't know how it took so long for people to see through it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people still are pissed about it.
It's propaganda.
I actively try to ruin what's left of his character, and people ask me why. They're like, why are you bothering? Like, what does this do for you? And it's like, it's no different than what people are trying to do to Lincoln or trying to do to FDR. Like, none of these people were good. They were tyrant pieces of shit. And, you know, the more we lie to ourselves that they were good and that we should be more like them is a disservice to going forward, because they were fucking monsters. We shouldn't be more like them, because that's even like excuses people use. Like, remember when Donald Trump said, well, FDR, you know, he threw the Japanese in the internment camps, and he was still one of the greatest presidents ever. So, I mean, it's like, there you go, right there. That's an example of how people can say, well, so-and-so did it, so it's okay because he was one of the best. And it's like, no, these people are fucking monsters.
Yeah,
They should be reviled as such.
So what you're saying is
it provides
cancel culture.
Republicans invented cancel culture. Let's just get that clear.
That's true. Christian conservatives.
That is correct.
When they canceled the Dixie Chicks.
They did cancel the Dixie Chicks. But what Reed's really talking about is like this perpetual cycle we see where the state gets you from such a young age that all they teach you is the wonderful history of the state. Now, without the state, you would be nothing, and we wouldn't have roads, and people would still be enslaved, and all of these horrible things. And then the state continues to do horrible things, but it says it's doing it in the name of freedom. So since all you know is that the state is omnipotent and wonderful, you go along with it. You support it.
Well, in honor of John McCain, we're going to be doing a giveaway tonight. So for anybody watching in chat, at the end of the show, we're going to draw a raffle. And in order to enter the raffle, you just need to enter the phrase. I'm going to pull it up on screen for you right here. In chat, hashtag rest in hell, John McCain. Typing that phrase into chat will automatically enter you into the raffle to win a care package from O'Donnell for Liberty, full of some awesome gifts that you're going to love. So remember, it's rest in hell, John McCain, and you'll periodically see a reminder scrolling along the bottom of your screen for the rest of the show tonight.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I don't know about, I know 3 of us are atheists here. I don't know if all 4 of us are, but I put that aside, you know, just for when a neocon dies. Like, I'll entertain the idea of eternal damnation in hell because, you know, it makes us feel better, so I'll go for it for a day. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
As Drew Hancock would say, it's okay. It's a contradiction as long as you're aware of the contradiction or the inconsistency.
Well, and hell is such an easy linguistic tool to use. Like, you tell someone to go to hell, everybody knows what you're saying. So whether you're atheist or Christian or Buddhist, if you're in America, you say go to hell. No. I prefer just telling people to go fuck themselves, calling them a cunt. That's always my go-tos.
Yeah.
The problem is sometimes John McCain escapes hell. Like when a Mexican goddamn oil platform bursts into flames and lights the fucking ocean on fire and opens up a fucking hell mouth where John McCain's soul escapes and inhabits the one-eyed Willie, the one-eyed Wonder Wiener, Dan Crenshaw, and trying to preach for more fucking war.
Hey, reincarnation is real, as Reed has proven. Either that or there's a thing going on where it's reincarnation and you just battle people to the death and take their mustache.
Yeah,
and the winner gets to live as Reed Coverdale.
So, Reed, me and Bill were talking earlier, and we had an idea. Does anybody here, do you guys remember the Battle of the Joshes?
The Battle of the what?
It was a big fucking thing, like on Tumblr and Twitter, like a couple years ago, where 2 dudes named Josh got in an argument, and they decided they were going to fight to see which one could be the real Josh. And they set a time and place. They're like, all right, they just picked a random GPS coordinates, dead center in the country, like the geographic center of the country, and said, we're going to meet here in 1 year's time exactly, and we are going to battle for the name of Josh. And they had like 4,000 people named Josh show up.
Jesus.
And I don't know. I think we're going to get started with the battle for the
Josh
Reeds.
and me. That's not real.
Yeah,
because I don't know which Reed is Reed.
I don't know either. I think I'm the real Reed.
The real Reed is finally here. This one is an imposter. His name's not even Reed. It's McCain dead.
McCain dead, yeah.
Yeah, his actual name is Scott. I think I'm the real Reed.
Oh.
I don't think 4,000 Reeds would show up, Justin. I don't know if there are that many on planet.
But how many mustaches?
A lot of mustaches. That would be the more qualifying.
I had to cut a hair extension for this and glue it on my face.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of scared of Olivia, though, if she shows up, because I've seen her shoot. So
that's dedication.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep. Olivia's like a wrestler.
Yeah, no, most of the women in the Liberty movement, it's like you don't want to fuck with them because they're going to pull a gun on you. Olivia doesn't need the gun.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm like a fake Second Amendment advocate. I don't even have a gun right now, but I don't
like
need it.
On you or like within reach or like define right now. Like close
I would say I do not legally own a gun at the moment.
Why not?
So, Olivia, what are Brad, Anna, and all the like safe people going to say that you went on a show with a bunch of extremists? Are they going to be upset? Or?
I mean, you've been on my show. People never get upset when you come on my show because people know I'll just like, I don't know. I don't really care about that stuff. But you keep pestering me to have Ryan on, so maybe when I have Ryan on, people will be mean to me.
There you go. That's the sign that you've truly made it. You got to get him on too, Justin. That's like full cancellation mode right there. So.
I mean, I don't think I'm cancelable.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of at that point too, but you just got to do it anyways, just for the.
They tried. They can't even get me suspended on Twitter. Like a couple weeks ago, I went down a rant in a rabbit hole, tweeting like Timothy McVeigh did nothing wrong. Just to see how people would react. It was reported to Twitter over 10,000 times, and Twitter did not take it down. It's still up. And there was like over 12,000 comments responding to it, and most of them were just tagging the Oklahoma City FBI. Like,
you have a blue check mark, so you're good, dude. You're safe.
Danny DeVito lost his blue check mark.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little more wild than you are, I guess.
All he did was that he supports striking union workers.
That's funny. That's all it took?
Yeah, apparently Twitter is against unions. So I don't know how to get suspended either. Like, I mean, there's very few tweets I've deleted before pressing send. Very few. There have been
You're trying really hard. I mean, every time you post that picture of Meghan McCain crying, I don't know. I don't know what's going through your head.
She blocked me. She hasn't blocked Reed, and she blocked me.
How did she not block Reed?
Like, how has she not blocked me yet? I mean, you went after her like once. I do it on like a weekly basis almost.
Oh, I was after her in her DMs for a while.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, yeah, that'll do
it. But like, Reed posts that meme in her mentions like on a weekly basis. I just like she had tweeted something about the pullout in Afghanistan. Like, this is shameful. Our veterans deserve better. And I just responded with like, yeah, we should have liquidated your father's estate to pay for his war crimes.
Wow,
that's beautiful. That's
beautiful,
delicious.
Nearly as harsh or vile as I've been, and she blocks him for that. Yeah, it doesn't make it. There's something going on. Most people think I'm a sleeper agent bed or something. That I'm undercover. I don't know. Maybe that's.
I thought the aviators.
Reed, I thought you were just undercover DOT sent to destroy the trucking movement.
There's not much to destroy, especially top lobster. Like, that would be stupid. Way low if I were to bother with that. So, hope you're watching.
God, not even Robin.
Mention him.
I don't know. Somebody's.
She's the Reed's mustache account. It's kind of scary. Like, I don't know. I think everybody.
Oh yeah, she keeps trying to get me to post on that account too. She like gave me the access to that account, but I haven't posted anything on there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Robin, Dominic, or whatever her last name is.
That's because there was a Twitter poll about who everyone thought was running it, and you.
And then everyone fucking thought it was me. I was like, like, how much time do you think? I mean, I guess I do have time because I'm sitting here with a fake mustache on my face.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I have a plane to catch at like 6 a.m., which is like horrible, and I haven't packed. I'm like, it's just a mess. I'm just sitting here with a hair extension on my face, but regardless, I don't have time to make a Reed's mustache account.
Yeah.
Well, it's already made.
Right. I don't have time to post on it. I mean, I troll him on my main account. So.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Yeah. Just selfies.
Oh, maybe I will. Maybe I will actually post a selfie of me like this.
Post one from the airport tomorrow.
Wearing the mustache at the airport.
Flying planes now. Fuck trucks.
Okay. You have to wear a mask over it if you're in the airport, though, so I won't have the same bite.
I feel like this is like more protective than a mask. It's like pretty huge. So
side of the mask, like just put the mask on and then have it
like hanging on the outside.
Huh?
Just,
like hanging out of the mask.
Cut off another extension or two, and you could make it pretty much look like a mask.
Honestly, yeah, I have a lot of like extra extensions. I could just make as many mustaches as I want.
I'm surprised.
Give yourself a big ass Fu Manchu.
Do you have enough extensions to start marketing these masks?
Yeah, probably. I could probably make like, I don't know. I feel like I could make like 100 and be okay.
Wow.
I think you just found a business opportunity.
Honestly.
You don't have time.
You want to Reed? You want to make merch? We should make merch.
You have you don't have time to make an account, but you have time to make 100 masks with mustaches on them.
Well, I would make more. So yes, I would have time. It's a free market.
There you go.
The market will always provide. I'm surprised Top Lobster hasn't made a shirt yet that's just a mustache.
He has talked to me about it, actually.
He should do varying shirts with varying mustaches if he was smart. You know, make a whole line of mustache shirts. Why limit yourself?
I want to get John Stossel and Matt Kibbe on the same show with me at the same time. And
That would be dope.
The Liberty Mustache Trio. You know, I mean, Matt Kibbe's kind of got the full beard going now, too, but his mustache is still very pronounced. So,
well, Matt Kibbe, if he sees this, needs to learn how to answer his damn email because, like, it doesn't make sense to text me your email, then not answer the damn email, but when you're coming on the show.
Yeah, he talked to me at Porkfest about coming on his show, and I emailed him. And I did take a while to email him, but that was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm like, okay, we'll see. But
no, I think I'm just going to message his wife next. I'm like, I'll have her on the show instead of him. She might get back to me.
She should put on a fake mustache and just do the show.
That should be a requirement. For the
Well,
show.
she's the brains behind the operation anyways. Reed, Derek in chat wants to know what you're driving. Or what cab what kind of truck you're sitting in.
It's a 2002 Kia Rio.
Sitting at the truck stop, not driving, in a 2019 Kenworth T800W with a Cummins engine, 18-speed transmission.
Sounds like a cute car.
Yeah, I got a 65,000-pound crusher on the back on the low bed trailer.
So, Reed, what are you going to do when Elon and Bezos put all the truckers out of business?
I do not think it's going to happen nearly as soon as everybody does, because just driving is really like a third of being a truck driver almost. I mean, it's what you do the most, but there's so many other aspects involved, especially with what I do. I mean, I can see it taking place on, like Interstate 10 between between Tucson and El Paso or something, where it's flat, it's straight, there's no snow, and you're just running freight back and forth, maybe like no touch freight. Sure, but like if you're a delivery driver, if you're driving in the city, if you're backing in weird alleyways, if you're an oversized equipment driver like I am, or if you're driving long loads, if you're a dump truck driver, there's so many things that just moving the truck from one place to another is just part of the job that, can't be substituted out yet. I foresee truck driving becoming more like airplane piloting. So I think that there will be a driver in the truck for a lot more years, but it'll basically be, once you get on the interstate, you can kind of put it in autopilot and just take it easy. And then once you get off and you're backing into a loading dock, you'll probably take over again, or if you're in the city. So I see it transforming more like that. A lot of people who talk about the trucking industry being transformed are not in the trucking industry, and they haven't driven trucks. They haven't had to chain up their tires in the snow. They haven't had to deal with blowing a steer tire, or your load coming loose, or just having mechanical malfunctions in general, or ice on the road, or whatever. So I'm just not as worried as maybe other people think I should be. I think truck driving will exist till the day I retire.
What you're
so
saying
it's just
is,
going to make you easy.
Reed,
What's that?
Go
So
ahead.
your job's just going to get easier.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
So it sounds like Bezos is doing you a favor, and she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Eventually, he's going to be bringing the Tesla droids drinks in the back of the truck. That's going to be Reed's job.
yeah, the thing that is hurting the trucking industry, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it's making products and shipping cheaper for everyone, is this free shipping within 3 days of delivery or whatever. Like, that has really driven freight prices down. But You know, the way I look at it is, if it's cheaper to get stuff, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I don't know, that plays a bigger role than automation is. You know, the price of shipping freight dropping through the floor.
So, Reed, do you think that the wages of truck drivers are going to go up when it becomes mostly automated, but they're still in the rig, because they still have to do all the loading, the unloading, the backing up and whatnot, but they also have to learn how to fix the computer if something goes wrong?
I think wages will probably go down once it's mostly automated, and I don't think that truck drivers will be trained to fix the computers. It's just like they're not trained to fix the engine. You know, I mean, I know a bit about diesel mechanics. I'm more of a gas engine guy myself, but there's some stuff I could fix on the engine on the road if it went wrong, but for the most part, I'd have to have a mechanic come do it. I think it'll be the same thing with a computer specialist or whatever.
But can it fix a brain tumor?
Oh my god.
I did post just like an MRI of a brain tumor, and I think I said thank you for your service or something. I forget what I said.
Yeah, stop sending me that shit. Every time he posts some fucked about shit, he sends it to me, so I'm supposed to retweet it. Like, no, I'm not going to retweet that.
Well, I thought she was based, but you know, there's a limit apparently.
I'm based in private. I'm not going to retweet like fucking John McCain's brain tumor. Like,
she's conservative based.
Olivia, you're one of us. They've already associated you.
I like don't even want to claim that.
Like, sort of reserved in public, and then on video, like on a show, she's like halfway in between. It's kind of weird. Like on Twitter, she's the most reserved. In the DMs, you're like, holy shit, and then on video, you can kind of get.
I know he like threatens to expose my DMs and shit all the time. It's not cool.
She's like, she doesn't want to know if she wants to claim being associated with us as she sits there wearing a fake mustache.
Yeah, you need to disavow us before you leave, Olivia. You got to be like, I disavow all of you extremists, and that'll cover you.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll still come on your stream and stuff, but I'll disavow you.
Just call us
every single time.
Yeah,
and you're good. So you call yourself like a conservatarian? What does that even mean?
I feel like I'm just halfway in between a conservative and a libertarian. I feel like
halfway between Gary Johnson and John McCain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where are you hung up then? What's holding you back?
I don't have libertarian views on immigration. That's probably the biggest one.
What does that even mean?
All right, no, let's have this debate. Let's have this argument.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to debate it.
I don't know if I do either.
I'm just saying what I believe.
No, fair. But like
how am I
libertarian,
supposed to explain myself?
libertarian immigration views like almost don't exist. It's like there's no. I don't know that there's a consensus on that. So you're good.
You can't ban immigration if there's not a state.
True.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess like from the LP Party platform, I don't agree with a lot of things, but mainly immigration.
Hey, Justin, I actually wanted to ask you this. I feel like the open borders argument is completely a straw man that the closed borders people keep throwing at us. They keep saying, you want, the commons of the government border to be open to everyone. It's like, I don't know any open borders libertarian who thinks the government should control the border. Like, maybe the Democrats think that. Maybe the Democrats, if there's an open borders Democrat, maybe they want government control of the border and allowing everyone in. But I don't know any libertarian who's open borders that thinks the government should just be on the border, letting people cross your private property if you don't want it. Like, I've never heard that. Do you think that's a straw man?
Well, I don't know. It works. So I'm of two minds of this. One, I don't think a border should exist because I don't think a border is real. All a national border is an arbitrary line drawn on a map where two groups of men stopped killing each other 200 years ago. And It's reinforced by blind nationalism, which is rooted in the belief that the inherent value of a human being's life is based upon which side of that border they were born on.
Right.
So I don't believe the border is a real thing to talk about. Now, with regards to private property, You have to look at, is it absentee private property? Is it in common use current use private property? Is it a dwelling? You look at countries like Scandinavia, countries in Scandinavia, like Sweden, has a constitutional right to use the land, where even private property, you have the right to cross private property in innocent passage. As long as you're not stopping and you can't harm or damage the property, you have a right to cross private property at any time. You have a right to camp on someone else's private property. You have a right to hunt and fish on someone else's private property, so long as you're not interfering with their use of it at any time. No, Georgism is just feudalism with extra steps.
But they tax you on it too, don't they? They tax
no,
you on the
not
land
in Sweden. They don't.
They don't tax you on the land you don't own.
They tax you on the land you own with property taxes,
but
the
you
land
don't own it
you're
because
using,
people can go through it at any time. It's not private.
Well, they can't interfere with your use of it. So if you're using it, nobody else, you have exclusive right to use. But
it's
if
not
you're not
exclusive, because other people have to be allowed to use it.
They can't use your home. So like you can go kick someone off if you want to use it at the time. But if you're like not using it and somebody wants to camp there for the weekend, they can just camp there for the weekend.
So it's like if I'm staying in my house and there's a brook that goes through the backyard and somebody's fishing in there, it's like they can fish there as long as I'm not fishing. And then I have to be like, hey, get out of here, buddy. I'm fishing.
Pretty much.
Like, I don't want people fishing in my yard if that's my yard.
Right.
You know, go fish on a place that's not my yard.
Like, so to put it in simpler terms, I feel like at least all the open borders people I've talked to, they want to abolish the Border Patrol and abolish the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
So it's not this, like, you keep hearing people say, both open and closed borders are statist. I believe in private borders. It's like, I don't know any open borders person who believes in the state allowing people to come onto your property on the border. Like, I mean, maybe Democrats, but Libertarians want to abolish.
Well, the worst of it's the argument, like the Derek just pointed out, making fun of. Derek said in chat, you cannot have open borders until you dismantle the welfare state, and you can't dismantle the welfare state until you have open borders. Problem solved. The problem with that argument is that saying that the welfare state is the reason why you support closed borders and you oppose increased immigration is because you think the welfare state cannot sustain an increase in population, which means you don't believe the welfare state can sustain uncontrolled birthing rates, which means people shouldn't be allowed to have children. Until the welfare state's abolished either.
No. The welfare state can't sustain the amount of people we have right now, so of course you don't want to add more. It's like it's not going to sustain this amount of people, so why would you? It's not a matter of controlling people's birth. It's literally this is unsustainable no matter how many people are in it.
Sustain how? The only thing that's sustaining the welfare state is the printing of fake money. You ready to get red-pilled, kids? Money isn't real. It's a promise made by a computer that you hope it'll back up. I don't fucking care at this point. I used to be opposed to student loan forgiveness. Now I'm like, I don't care. It's such a trivial percentage of the overall national debt. It doesn't actually add anymore to fucking forgive every student loan. Fuck it. Forgive all outstanding medical debt while we're at it. If the point here is to get to a point where the U.S. petrodollar is no longer governing our lives, let's burn it to the fucking ground on the way.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the mission. However, I disagree with the cultural outcome where it's like you need the cultural incentivization of not paying back your debts, not worrying about all the things that you incurred as responsibilities, and all that shit. That's not good for people, dude. If you look at families, like, okay, I paid all my college loans, I raised my kids, I worked hard, I worked overtime to make sure that I could afford everything. I saved, I pinched pennies on the weekends, whatever it was. And the guy next to me bought sports cards, didn't give a fuck, and just threw his money in whatever which way.
Hey, those sports cards might be worth more than your student loans.
Sure, maybe they are. No. Honestly, I didn't get any student loans. This isn't actually an example of me. I skipped college.
Well, it's a shit and it's a bad example anyways. It's not a good example, Bill. It's not a good example because the culture shouldn't be about debt. The culture shouldn't care about the paying back of the debt. The culture should care about kids who are brainwashed into thinking college is a good idea. The fact is that kids take out these loans under duress without the knowledge of how it's going to affect them and under the false belief because they've been brainwashed and it's been pummeled into them that they will not be able to succeed without a college degree and that they have to go $100,000 into debt to do it. No, it's flat out fucking wrong. The money's made up. The money doesn't matter. The degree was useless. They wasted 4 years of their fucking lives already. Forgive it. Forgiving student loan debt would have been a better and more effective economic stimulus than any of the checks that Trump and Biden sent out during COVID.
I actually agree with that.
Facts. I cut my losses and dropped out, so.
Yeah, I didn't go to college because I for exactly the reason you said. I felt like there was so much pressure. It's like the COVID vaccine. College was like the COVID vaccine in 2008. It's like, if you don't go, you're never going to be successful. Nobody's going to want you around them. You know, you're not going to be able to make money. You're not going to be able to get a grocery store pass, whatever it is. That's not what they said. It was like, you couldn't go to college. You won't be successful. You won't make enough money to survive if you don't go to college. I was like, I don't believe that shit. I don't want to go for it. I'm not going to rack up $110,000 of debt for a degree I don't want.
Speaking of improving the culture, I don't know how many of you guys have worked with Mexicans, but I would work shoulder to shoulder with a Mexican any day over an American. Just saying.
Hey, Justin, do you have that picture?
What is that?
Yeah,
of Mexican Reed
for your mustache, didn't you?
I got to find the picture of Mexican Reed. Give me a second.
Yeah.
We know where you get that mustache.
Where is this picture of Mexican Reed?
You haven't seen that yet, Olivia?
No.
Oh God, it's totally me.
Reed claims to love Mexicans because he killed a Mexican.
Go to my Facebook, Justin. If you have trouble finding it, it was my. I think
Bill sent it to me earlier. I just gotta find Bill's email.
It is me. I swear. That's why That's why I'm so open borders, because I have reincarnation lines leading back to being a Mexican at one point. So.
Wow.
How about this? I have a solution for the immigration problem. All right, how's this? Dual citizenship. Okay, dual citizenship.
What you do? God, Mexican Reed.
It's definitely fucking Reed. That's him.
Well, something about the immigration debate that always gets mixed up, and I hear a lot of Northerners, especially, say something like, "Well, they don't share our same culture." I'm like, you and a Texan don't have the same culture. You and someone who lives on the border on the Texas side, and you who live in New Hampshire or Vermont or Maine, do not share the same culture. However, the person who lives right on the Texas side of the border and someone who lives right on the Mexican side of the border have a hell of a lot more in common culturally than we do. So if people are like making the cultural argument for why we shouldn't increase immigration, well, then we shouldn't allow immigration from southern states to northern states and northern states to western states, etc.
Good.
Yeah, I mean,
good. Maryland nationalism. Everybody else fuck out.
No, we're going to handle this the way we handle Reed and the Reed Coverdale mustache situation. It's going to be dual citizenship. You have to duel somebody from the opposing country to get their citizenship. You duel to the death.
I don't know if that's how dual citizenship
the population never increases, right? So if I want to be a citizen of Mexico and you want to be a citizen of the U.S., we duel. We can have classes, right? You do hand-to-hand combat. You could do like 50 paces, whatever. We could do mason chain. Like, I don't care. We could joust.
So
it doesn't matter to me.
This is the perfect example. This is the perfect example of Harrison's point and my earlier point. The borders are arbitrary. A border is just a line drawn on the map where two groups of men stop killing each other. It has nothing to do with what culture is predominant on either side of it. It's just a line drawn there. This is a map of Ciudad de Juarez in Mexico and El Paso in Texas. It's the same fucking city with a border that runs through downtown.
I almost got arrested there.
Push back a little bit on this. Juarez is way worse than El Paso. I've been there, and it's
after 200 years of having a border.
Yes, that's true. But I'm just saying, as far as like being the same city, there, El Paso sucks, but Juarez is like.
It's like shanties. It's like area. What is that movie with the
El Paso, not Juarez? It's like right across, and Juarez is like fucking.
You can see how bad it is, dude. It's rough.
Have you been in it?
I haven't been in it, but you can see, like, you drive through El Paso. I've hung out in El Paso. It's like you can see it across the way. It's rough, dude.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like the worst part of town in whatever town you're in, but like a whole city of it from what you can see. It's rough.
By the way,
Eric says you should have to get a college education to duel.
I support it. Only the elites can duel for citizenship.
So many people say I'm being autistic about the border thing, where that's actually one of the first things that started turning me from Republican to Libertarian. and it was from living in the Southwest. Like, I don't know how many people watching have lived in Tucson, Arizona, or the surrounding area. They have fucking checkpoints all over the place where they can stop you, pull you over, rip your car apart, and then let you keep going. They had a policy that they could stop you if your skin was a certain color for a while in Tucson. Like, it was fucked what they were allowed to do and get away with. They can stop you anywhere within 100 miles of the border in the entire country. And, you know, they deport people who'd been living peacefully in some town for 20 years, who was paying taxes because they had a social security number, but they came here illegally 20 years ago, and so they kidnap them and send them back across the border. And working with these people and living down there and just seeing the situation for what it was is one of the first things. It was that and the cops. Those were like the first two big things. And then war came pretty soon after that. And, you know, then I became a fucking retard like the rest of you guys. So.
Olivia, what started it for you? What pushed you to conservatarian instead of conservative?
Oh, so my descent has been, I mean, I would say this is descent because it went with my dignity, because I feel like I had more self-respect when I was more like on the hardcore like MAGA train.
You would never have showed up on a podcast with a mustache on.
Yeah, so here's where I'm at now, and I can't say I'm proud of it, but I feel like I am going in the right direction, probably.
We're proud of you, Olivia.
Oh,
you don't have to be proud of yourself.
I mean, I feel like I really got exposed to extremist content. I think I'm like a case study on how the internet can affect people and turn people into like borderline anarchists.
Olivia. Extremist content.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Have you guys seen there's a documentary on Netflix. They kind of made it's like half documentary, half like narrative film that went alongside the documentary about how social media brainwashes people into cults. It's phenomenal. The whole point is like they're explaining, they have people who used to work at Facebook, used to work at Instagram, coming on talking about the algorithms and how they would put content in front of people based on like assumptions, and how they would drive people to further engage with content just for more reaction to interaction, and how they were noticing that they were radicalizing people. And then the story that goes alongside it, that's interspersed scene by scene, is a kid being radicalized into the radical center that's protesting shit in his town. Like, they're not protesting anything specific, just protesting to protest. They're an allegory for the alt-right in the movie. But it's hilarious. But like, the amount of former Facebook engineers and people who were executives at Facebook who on this thing said, I will never allow my children to use Facebook.
Wow.
I will not allow my kids to use fucking Twitter or anything. I'm wasting my life away on Twitter.
Twitter is the best.
No, you're building a career.
Speaking of the cult, right? Cults and whatnot, there's a lot of people out there who don't like the murder cult language. And let me tell you what, if you don't like the murder cult language, but you hate
like
the
murder
war
cult
state, you have a fundamental misunderstanding of what the murder cult is. Or as Justin said, you like the murder cult. So the murder cult is literally a group of people, namely the military industrial complex, pharmaceutical companies, oil companies, international bankers, and they brainwash people and they lie to people using propaganda into thinking that they are fighting in just wars. So the military members are what we would call victims of a cult. They're victims of programming. And then so they go and they do horrible things. Some of them rise to the level where they are now leaders of the murder cult and are therefore responsible for the actions that they take. But people like myself who joined the military because we were lied to and told that, hey, you're protecting our rights. And we went, yeah, our rights. And then it wasn't until afterwards we realized it was all bullshit. So just keep in mind that nobody who's using murder cult language is saying that some kid fresh out of high school who doesn't know any better is, you know, this infamous leader of a cult that's going to kill people. He's a
And that's
victim.
a great reminder to everybody watching that if you want to celebrate the death of one of the murder cult's greatest leaders, type in hashtag rest in hell John McCain into chat to be entered into our raffle tonight for a free care package from the show.
When you first said that, I considered it. I was like, oh, I want to join the raffle. And then I was like, nah, Reed's going to know I'm here if I comment. So I had to wait.
Well, now you can join the raffle.
Can I? Okay, well, now I want to join.
But that's, again, it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen for those of you watching. Hashtag rest in hell John McCain. 3 years, proud tumor.
It's amazing how fast that went by too. Once you guys reminded me that the anniversary was coming up, for some reason I thought it was last year. Like,
right?
I guess time just
too.
flies when you're having fun.
When I saw Caitlin this morning, Caitlin had posted it this morning, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I thought that was like 6 fucking months ago.
Yeah, I thought it was
Like,
a year too.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, Rumsfeld was like 6 months ago.
Yes.
That was 6 months ago? Wasn't that like 2 months ago?
I don't know. It's all blending together, man.
That was more recent, I think.
COVID and calendars do not work.
It's fucked up, dude. I'm growing my hair out until COVID's over.
Has a calendar for like every day a neocon dies, or he has like it all written down, and that's why I kind of know these by heart. But,
We could sell that. That's sellable.
What's the next neocon you're waiting for? Like everyone says,
Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah, Dave Crenshaw. If he died, that'd be great because he still affects.
He's
still young though. He's young. He's not gonna die.
I know he should.
Crenshaw is still causing problems.
Can we get him smoking cigarettes?
See, he has a brain tumor, but it's gone into his eye socket. It's just filling up his eye socket, and it's not killing him.
Let's get him smoking cigarettes out of his eye socket.
See, this is where I have to disavow you guys. I can't. If someone clips this and is like, "Yeah, Olivia's hanging out on a podcast and they're talking about death to Dan Crenshaw," I can't do that.
Liz Cheney.
She's technically supposed to salute when we say Dan Crenshaw. Olivia's supposed to like show her sign of respect.
Yeah.
Reed Coverdale. At Reed Coverdale, would you fuck Dan Crenshaw's eye socket to death?
Is this at Reed or Reed?
At Reed Coverdale.
Yeah.
Both of you.
I am Reed Coverdale.
Or no?
Lubricated? Yeah, you're using his blood as lubricant.
I can't. Oh my god! I literally disavow you.
Yeah.
All right, Olivia. One politician bites the dust tomorrow. You get to pull the trigger. Who is it?
I'm not.
No one knows. No one knows. Hypothetical situation.
I'm not.
Not an actual trigger. You can push a red button in an office.
Yeah.
That does what?
Eliminates the singular politician.
Can I say puts them in jail? I don't want to say I want to kill anybody.
Allegedly.
Do they have to be in office right now? Or
No.
can they be alive? Oh, then it would definitely be Hillary Clinton. But not death. I'm not saying I want to kill her. Just put her somewhere else that's not here.
Put her in Gitmo.
I would 100% choose Dan Crenshaw. He's the one that's got to go.
Okay. I just
Olivia, you can put her in Jeffrey Epstein's cell.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I'll do that.
That's a great one.
We know there's no security cameras there.
For real.
She might hang herself with her paper sheets while the camera dies for 2 minutes and the guards fall asleep. You never know.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Didn't those guards get charged with modifying documents too?
Yeah, but nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
They definitely caught
All right.
charge after.
There's a lot of shit that nobody wants to talk about. Like a few months ago, the goddamn Pentagon confirmed the existence of aliens and UFOs, and nobody's talking about that.
Dude, that was the lizard people. That's the fucking interdimensional demons that Alex Jones is always talking about.
Like they confirmed aliens and UFOs and said, yeah, we don't actually know what the hell they are. And it's like, what the But no, Trump and Biden, that's all anybody wanted to talk about. They picked the perfect time to squeeze that one out into the news.
Remember the Israelis and the American government both had been contacting aliens with the Galactic Federation? This was like last
Yeah, no, and this was like
that guy, yeah.
It was like, what the fuck? I was like, wait, the fucking aliens have talked to the Israelis and the Americans? You know, those are the Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu are our ambassadors to extraterrestrial
To
life.
space.
Like,
We're fucked. We are fucked. Like we
Sure,
are
you're
never
aliens,
getting.
but we're
We
the
are
best.
never getting warp
We've got
technology
the
from the
biggest
Vulcans.
walls.
Nah, dude.
We've got
it's
spaceships. We got walls.
article that the aliens did not want to let us join their federation, and I was like, well,
because
after
of mean
fucking
tweets.
Netanyahu and Trump, I would probably arrive at the same conclusion. I'd be like, yeah, guys, it's nice to meet you, but you know, sorry, we're gonna keep this in house. Like, no humans.
Wow, they're
Speaking
big.
of mean tweets, Olivia, what's the meanest tweet that one of us has done that's offended you?
Oh god.
If you're not all the way yet.
Reed definitely offends me on like a daily basis, so I can't even.
Come on.
He's
You don't
like when I say that he sends me like literally all his offensive tweets. He does. He'll send it to me in the DM and be like, "Hey," and I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Sometimes I'll like type back like in the chat, but sometimes I don't because I don't even want to reply like on the timeline because people would be like, "Oh, Olivia likes that shit." Like, what the fuck? I retweeted like. I like always retweet like his like podcast stuff, but I can't retweet like the crying Meghan McCain. I just can't do it, and I don't even know if that offends me. I just can't associate with it like publicly.
We should add Olivia to the Signal group.
Is it bad? Is it like really, really bad? Like really offensive?
Do you like crying?
Hey, I'm not a crybaby. I can handle it.
Okay.
Tulsi
We'll
Gabbard
see.
coming on my show some point here, and it's good she doesn't use Twitter much because I think she's pretty good friends with Meghan McCain. And
How is Tulsi friends with Megan? That's wild.
I don't know why.
Tulsi is friends with everybody. She told me once we were in Concord, New Hampshire,
My mustache is falling off.
and she was trying to convince me that like I should come work for her campaign because she was really good friends with Justin Amash and Thomas Massey. I'm like, that's not enough. She's like, no, I'm really good friends with them. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're just really good friends with 434 other people in DC. And then she told the story that she tells at every event about how her mom made 434 boxes of toffee.
It all for her. Yeah, I know. 5 million times.
And I still haven't tried the toffee.
The reason she's friends with Meghan McCain is because they're both pro-war. Tulsi just believes we shouldn't be funding the people like actual Al Qaeda. So yeah.
Meghan McCain like wants to fucking invade Iran, so you know. That's
Correct. And Tulsi's like, no, just Iraq, and Afghanistan. It's gonna be fine.
I just want to invade Meghan McCain.
Okay. I disavow. I mean, I would, but I also can't like publicly say it. Well, I guess I just did. Well, yeah. Never mind. I don't
Your
disavow.
cover's blown.
Yeah, my cover is blown.
Olivia, you can say whatever you want on the show. No one's gonna know it's you. The mustache hides your identity.
Stop
Right.
saying his fucking name
Yeah,
then.
no one's called you by your real name at all. Not even once during this whole show.
You need some pit vipers.
Read.
For real. I do
Wait,
need
how many Tulsi
Stop putting that shit up. Like, that's not my name. Actually, technically, my name is Scott. My middle name is Reed, but I go by Reed because I'm a fucking weirdo. You guys don't even know my name. Who the fuck does that? I guess me.
I go by Benedict all the time. No, it's totally normal.
Justin, how many times did you ask Tulsi about Ross Ulbricht at an event?
Oh my god. Oh my god. So it wasn't even me. Just every event we went to, Andrew Olding was with us, and every single event, the moment we'd get her alone, it's like, was it about Ross Ulbricht and Julian Assange and Edward Snowden? So about Ross Ulbricht and Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, and he would just hammer him for months, like on a weekly fucking basis. It's like
I love that though.
Like anytime she was there, it was outdoor events, at a bar, at a restaurant, like any event she was at that AJ went to, he would ask her about it. And then it was like right before the primary at Murphy's Tap Room in New Hampshire. She's like asking questions. It gets to him, and he asks again. And this is after months of berating her. And she's like, "Listen, I remember you. I didn't have an answer last time. I'm not going to have an answer now. I have a damn campaign to run. Stop asking me about minutia."
Dude, you know who that is? It's fucking Hippie Hitler, her like campaign manager there. Did you ever run into her?
Yeah, and we even gave her a whole fucking rundown of Ross's case, and we're like, listen, you want to win the New Hampshire primary? You want to get 10,000 Republicans to go vote in the Democratic primary for Tulsi? Just have her say, "I will pardon Ross Ulbricht," and she will win this primary because the Free Staters will abandon the Republican Party on the spot to make sure she wins.
Dude, she ruined that campaign, in my opinion, just from being there and being on the inside. Like, man, she sucked.
Olivia is not only Reed's mustache, she's also the beard.
I know, right? It's like we're in like a throuple with Clint.
And now he's cheating on you with Morgan.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Like what even is happening right now?
Sorry. Well, hey, you and Clint were getting busy in Florida, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna wander around. And then he has a big double standard. He flips out at me and breaks up with me. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you were with Olivia, you were with what's her name? Anders. What's Anders' first name?
Maggie.
You were with Maggie, and you're with a bunch of dudes too. You're with Magnus. I know Magnus goes either way, so like.
Yeah, me and Magnus hooked up at Revolution, totally.
So I just do it once.
You heard it here, people. Now it's news.
He won't even deny that. He'll just be like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, then Clint, flips out at me, and I'm like, I can't stand this abusive relationship.
So you just went to Morgan. You were just like, fuck all y'all.
Well, yeah. I mean, why not? She's in Colorado anyway.
Okay.
It's right next door.
You gotta remember, fucking Utah. I mean, you're allowed to have 10 wives, but they save hand holding for marriage around here. Like, they're fucking.
Okay, so it's pretty dry.
You can't even hold 10 hands at once.
So you're moving home to New Hampshire. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, Morgan and I are getting married and moving to New Hampshire.
What the fuck? Okay, fine. You know what? I hope you guys are happy together. I hope so.
That's okay. All right,
Me and Magnus are really happy. So
we almost.
Does she have a matching mustache? So the baby's
yeah, I bet she doesn't have a matching mustache.
I posted a picture of my sister and I at the Canyonlands the other week.
Yeah, and I asked why you tagged her.
Yeah, but everyone was like, she doesn't have a mustache.
I was about to comment.
I'm just saying, Morgan's not going to cut a piece of a hair extension to glue on her face for you. I'm doing this for you. Like what does Morgan have that I don't?
I did message Morgan and ask her to as well.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Clint, the real competition is Clint. Clint did some things to me that I don't think a woman ever could. That I don't know if I'm going to be able to move beyond. So.
Okay. Is it just because you had a near-death experience with him? Is that why?
I'm not going to elaborate anymore. I'm just going to leave it.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Reed is pleading the fifth.
That's fine. That's cool. Okay.
Zach, Morgan has intelligence for one.
Okay, Zach. I'll remember that. I'll remember that. That's cool.
He's a consistent watcher of yours too. That was a low blow.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna FaceTime him after I get off and just yell at him. I'm gonna berate him. He started off as a follower, and then I made the mistake of befriending him, and now he just harasses me. So.
Wait, does he like every tweet you put out within like 2 seconds?
Yeah, he has my post notifications on.
Yeah, he does that. I mean, it's just like Zach liked your tweet, and like, there's no way he could have even read it. He just sent.
Nah, I don't know if he does, but he also like reads really fast. Like if I text him, he'll reply in like literally 10 seconds. So.
I mean, I like most of Reed's posts within a second of him posting them because he messages them to me immediately.
Yeah, but I don't like them. I just look at them and like, wow, okay. Then I move on and.
But it's great content.
It is
sometimes.
good content.
I mean, sometimes I like them. Sometimes I'll like them but not retweet. Sometimes I will retweet them, but it has to be like something wholesome,
More, if you're not offending somebody, you're not doing it right.
I don't have any problem with offending people. I'm very offensive, but not in like, I don't know. I feel like I have some tact about it still.
So you won't post stuff about John McCain's brain tumor or Megan crying, but would you post, say, an article about all of the innocent people and dogs killed by John McCain's bombs?
Yeah, obviously. I don't like John McCain. I don't know how to stress that. Like, I don't like John McCain. I just won't.
Well, see, what I heard earlier is that you wanted to, dig his bones up and have a seance with him.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was told.
She doesn't like John McCain. So Zach and everyone else in chat, just remember, if you type into the chat hashtag rest in hell John McCain, you'll be entered into the giveaway raffle for some prizes tonight, and it's free.
What are the
Hashtag
prizes?
There's a box of books and stuff and like Liberty swag, and there's a copy of Ron Paul's book, a copy of Thomas Sowell's book, and
yeah.
whatever else we put in there. We'll see.
And you
Flat rate
enter
shipping.
that. And you enter that just by typing hashtag rest in hell John McCain.
Wait, which
Sounds
soul book
like
is
something any good libertarian would do.
Right, Olivia? Hashtag
Barb,
rest in
Barb.
hell John McCain.
I'm not gonna type that. Can I just verbally enter?
Be an extremist.
Put it in
No,
the
there's
private
a
chat.
drawing.
Just real libertarians. Can't go back.
We're gonna get you on record.
I can't. Honestly, Rita's has already threatened me enough with shots. I said in the DM, like I can't even give any more ammunition at this point. I've been very reckless.
Yeah, the
And Zach,
DMs
if you
are
don't know how to
hurting
read,
stuff.
that was hashtag rest in hell John McCain. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen right now.
Well, how is he gonna read it if it's on the bottom of the screen? You can't read.
All he's gonna do is match the letters to the keyboard.
Oh, okay.
This guy's pretty good at typing for somebody who can't read.
I told you he types like fast as fuck.
Resting is a positive thing, though, and I don't want to wish that on John McCain. Well, Zach, if he's not resting, he's bombing children.
Yeah, the man deserves a break.
We deserve a break from the man.
The kids deserve a break. We deserve a break. McCain
Wait,
deserves
why
a
is
break.
Magnus texting me right now? Probably to hook up again.
Yeah, he probably
You know,
heard what
John
you said.
McCain does deserve a
His
break.
ears were ringing.
He struggled for all that time with that little itty bitty brain tumor, and I bet that's the reason that he went around being a war criminal and just murdering people willy nilly, and it wasn't because he was a bad guy. It was just the tumor.
No, dude. Listen, you say itty bitty. When it comes to brain tumors, size doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know, itty bitty, but it grew bigger. It grew to be the size of a grapefruit. So you got to forgive the guy. It's not his fault.
Maybe
Blame
the
cancer.
problem. Maybe the problem is size. Maybe John McCain's brain tumor, which built up enough pressure to kill John McCain, isn't killing Dan Crenshaw because of the empty space in the eye socket is
I
relieving the
disavow
pressure.
them.
You know what the problem is? John McCain wasn't vaccinated against cancer. If he had been vaccinated against cancer,
All right.
we'd still be at war. Everything
The
would
world's
still
colliding.
be fine.
Okay. You said you would post about all the puppies John McCain killed in his bombing campaigns. We talk about the COVID a lot. But what about all the cops in Australia that went into a shelter and murdered a bunch of dogs so the volunteers would go home and stop taking care of them?
That is news to me.
You didn't see that one the other day?
No.
Spike Cohen posted. That's where I saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to go on his page.
Oh no, Spike Cohen was the 4 babies. Never mind.
Yeah.
That was also
no.
in Australia.
4 babies in Australia died because they were denied heart surgery because
Oh, I did see that one.
they didn't have a negative COVID test in time because
The
it
puppies
took
was a different one. But yeah.
it took too long to get a negative COVID test and they died before getting into surgery. Babies.
Yeah, I posted a little bit about Australia, and there was a video that came out of Canada today or yesterday where it was like a bunch of cops like knocking phones out of people's hands, and they had these red armbands on, like they looked like fucking fascists. So I retweeted a couple of those videos, but I did not see the puppy thing. So that's really sad. That makes me
Look,
more sad, actually.
All I can say is it's a good thing we're trusting the science and trusting our public health experts, because without them, we would truly be in the Black Plague, which you can literally treat with a few antibiotics these days. I had somebody the other day telling me, oh, if we had another Black Plague going around right now, you'd be begging for lockdowns. And I was like, I want to Google this. I want to see what is the mortality rate, like how hard is it to treat. So I look it up, and according to the CDC, it's really treatable. It's like 4 to 6 pills to treat the Black Plague these days. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's have a Black Plague. Why not? It'll be done in a week, but economic or ignorance itself, whether it's economic or, historical or medical, whatever it may be. Ignorance rules the day.
It is the ignorance. And I actually get bad. I've started clapping back at people on Twitter whenever I see the whole trust the science thing, trust the science, by actually just responding with links to articles published by the National Institute of Health that just completely contradict what they're saying. Because throughout the entirety of this fucking pandemic, the National Institute of Health has been publishing nonstop research into COVID and convalescent case studies and immunology studies and everything. And there's one I keep going back to that says, if you had COVID, no matter how severe, if you had asymptomatic entirely or were in the ICU, you end up with the same antibody and T-level response in your T cells. That has shown for perpetual recognition of all variants. And they're showing that people who had COVID, even when asymptomatic, have natural immunity to variants like the Delta variant and the Gamma variant, but people who are getting vaccinated don't.
And you're not producing an endless amount of spike protein to saturate your organs.
In Israel, 40% of all hospital admissions are vaccinated already, but less than
all
1%
hospital admissions
for COVID.
Okay.
So 40% of COVID hospital admissions in Israel are already vaccinated. Less than 1% are reinfected. So the vaccine is less effective than getting the cold. I saw one yesterday that said that other similar human coronaviruses can produce T cells that give you an immunity to COVID-19, and that they're finding widespread immunity in people who had been exposed to, get this, the seasonal flu.
Dude, it's one of those things where nobody wants to talk about this. They don't want to talk about natural immunity. They want to talk about, and before coronavirus happened, it was something people didn't even know. It's like there were studies saying if you get the Hong Kong flu in like what it was 1969, you were like much more immune to your average seasonal flu that was going around for years and years. It was like people who got that, it was elderly patients who got that weren't dying of the flu. So this is a thing where it's like immunity from a certain virus can last for a long time. Nobody wanted to have the discussion. Nobody talks about immunology. You know, it's a nerdy topic. And then it comes this thing, but only the acceptable opinions are actually published and like touted and spread around everywhere. So it got weird, but that's a real thing. Like whatever random virus or influenza, you can get lasting immunity from other viruses that don't even exist yet. It's just like a combination of proteins your body knows how to manufacture.
Well, and it's not even just the acceptable opinions that get published, but it's the one that gets published and then shared in the mainstream media. But people don't read the whole article. And if they're going to watch a whole video, it's maybe a minute, maybe two. So they're not getting the full context. They're not getting the whole understanding. And they're only watching or reading that one article. So yeah, people have a very flawed understanding of what the science actually is. They're just trusting the TV. They're not trusting the science.
That's the problem. And they're trusting scientists. That's the fucking terrifying thing, is it scientists that are on the payroll of the United States government that are blabbing about shit that doesn't match up to the science that they're publishing. In some of one of the crazy things, the study that showed that you have a stronger immunity from natural immunity than from getting the vaccine, Fauci is a credited author on.
Right.
I believe it.
Well, Mises and Rothbard talked about this, how the technocrats, how the intellectual class, they're always going to want to keep the state perpetually growing because it's through the state that they actually have jobs and they limit competition. So it makes sense that all of this stuff coming out through different think tanks and different science research groups that are getting state funding are advancing the government's opinion. They're advancing their reach and their funding. You know, they're not publishing stuff from the free market institutes out there that are actually finding different results and different answers, even though they're using the same data sets.
When did science become a religion? That's what I want to know. Like the whole reason I didn't like religion was it was answers that can't be questioned, instead of being comfortable with questions that you don't know the answer to. And now that's become science nowadays. Like now people, they want concrete answers. They don't want nuance. They don't want unknowns. They just want comfort. And that's what religion was. And that's become science. Like science is a reaffirmation of whatever fears you have about something. It's just, I mean, it is like the secular religion that people have now.
Dude, it's crazy. Science, it's like, it's the equivalent of racism or non-racism now. Do you believe the science or do you believe in the anti-science? Do you believe in racism or do you believe in anti-racism? It's like also...
It's not enough to simply be pro-science. You must be
actively anti-science. Passively pro-science.
Yeah.
That is a great extremist tweet, Olivia. I mean, Reed.
Yeah, not please stop saying my name.
Not enough to be passively pro-science. You must be actively anti-science.
Wrong.
But it's true. Like this whole...
I disavow.
Trust the science is a self-contradictory statement. It makes no sense. The whole idea of science is not even proving anything. Like science doesn't prove things. Science can only disprove. So it can leave you with a very limited option of what's left that's possibly true. Like, we have not proven that gravity is true. We've just disproven so many other theories that it's like, well, that one makes sense. And then if you can actually end up disproving gravity, then you will change the world. That used to be the whole idea of science all the way through. But now it's like, oh, we found this out, and this is concrete. And if you disagree with it, you're a bigot. That's science now.
That said, flat earthers need to be thrown off the edge.
You mean free staters?
Some of them, yeah. And I'm calling out to you, Alex Jones. The earth isn't flat. I'll debate you on it.
Oh my god, I want to be Alex Jones so bad.
Alex Jones is the man.
Wars this morning, apparently.
That's dope, dude. I'm proud of that guy.
Not on Alex Jones, but on the other hosts. So.
Gotcha. See, I'm not sure I would want to go on InfoWars as much as I'd want Alex Jones to come on here.
I would totally go on InfoWars. I'm like desperate to go on InfoWars. Actually,
I feel like the increase in following and reach you get from going on InfoWars isn't necessarily a positive one. Like,
why?
Like, all right, I saw an article today about Joe Rogan. And somebody did a study where they went through every single guest Joe Rogan has ever had and how many Twitter followers they gained within a week of going on Joe Rogan's show. Since he went exclusive with Spotify, the increase in following for his guests is down like 80%.
I believe that, dude. I don't listen to that show anymore.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay for it.
Oh, no, it's still free.
I don't want to download Spotify. It's a terrible app.
Yeah, exactly. And I still have...
First of all, Spotify Master Race. Spotify is the best. But I will say this, though, because when I went on... I was on...
Did you say Master Race?
Yeah, Spotify's Master Race.
No, Pandora. That's offensive.
Ew, Pandora's like literally gross.
I disavow.
Okay, whatever. But no, I will say this. When I went on Timcast like a month ago, I received like an uncomfortable amount of followers in a very quick amount of time. And I actually wanted to like die during it. Because like, no shade to Tim Pool or anyone, but a lot of his like fans are like crazy. So it was a weird time. I got a lot of weird messages and shit. So I feel like if I went on InfoWars, it would be like, I don't know. It would be bad. But I still want to go on just to talk to Alex. So
I would search it up and ask him to clarify if it was dancing Arabs or dancing Israelis on 9/11.
Both. Dude, they were all dancing.
It's not enough to not download Spotify. We must be actively anti-Spotify.
Fuck you, Zach.
Hey, I'm actively anti-Spotify. I am so actively anti-Spotify that in about 2 weeks from now, you'll be able to listen to this show on Spotify twice a week.
It is not up to be passively pro-Pandora, actively anti-Spotify.
I'm anti-Spotify. I'm anti-Spotify, but I am pro-income stream.
Can we at least agree that the worst one is Apple Music and nobody should use Apple Music?
100%.
Okay.
I am also distributing to iTunes and Apple Music.
Okay, well, you're basically a sellout, but okay.
Yes.
Apple Music scans your phone for child porn.
I don't own an Apple phone. I'll never own an Apple product. Although
they would scan for child porn or what?
They're gonna find my weed pictures.
The very fact that they can. So Apple's whole thing historically has been we are the privacy product, and that was the one big selling point for Apple was we were the privacy product.
Was a lie, by the way. Was a lie. Just throwing it out there.
Total lie.
They're not going to let people break into your phone. They'll give them access to the cloud. Yeah,
right.
Give them access to the cloud.
And they defended their privacy product name for so long by doing shit like telling the FBI to get fucked when the FBI asked them to unlock people's phones, by telling their engineers to program something that Apple itself couldn't get a backdoor to stop the FBI from rooting phones, and shit like that almost made me get an iPhone. But now it's them saying we're going to scan every image on your phone, and if there's something we don't like, we're going to call the cops on you.
You can't have extremist content when Apple's scanning your phone.
And I am extremist content.
No more pictures of Meghan McCain crying on an iPhone.
I know.
That's not extreme at all.
No.
What am I going to jerk off to?
Oh my god! I disavow.
I endorse.
Of course you would, but the real Reed Coverdale disavows.
Oh, that's good. That's good for my image if the real Reed Coverdale disavows.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you, and you're just
By the way, be able to get elected, son.
I'm the real Olivia Rondo, and Meghan McCain can, she can go cry harder if she wants. Her dad was a fucking warmongering creep, and he's burning in hell right now. There we go.
Okay, Reed, if you want to do a stream and you want to put on blackface and wear a wig and be the real Olivia Rondo, fucking go ahead. I hope you do. I really hope you truly do that.
Oh my god.
Go for it.
We can set this up.
Go for it, to be honest. Just go for it.
How do you think Archie's going to react to reading blackface?
Dude, he follows me, or maybe he unfollowed me because I was kind of a bitch to him the other day because he commented on some random post I made that was like completely irrelevant, and I was like, "Fuck out of here, dude! Why do you even follow me?" And he was just like, "I'm just replying to the discussion." I was like, "Yeah, but you're an asshole to all my friends, so he might have unfollowed me. I don't know. I really don't like that guy."
If you get Ryan on your show, he will disassociate with you. He'll block you. That's the rule of thumb, apparently. So.
I hope he blocks me.
Well, I mean, so I'm going to try and find it here. So Archie Flower might be the greatest example of libertarians coming together I've ever seen.
You're talking about... Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
So this motherfucker has given, like, the vast majority of the liberty movement a common enemy to hate. Like, just pissed off everyone to every...
What about the block Nick Sarwark shit? Because everybody blocked his ass after that.
I didn't block his ass.
Oh, I blocked him.
I just muted him. He lives like 2 doors down from me. Like if I turn the camera, you can see his car. Yeah. Archie Flower has pissed off every single person in the liberty movement to some degree. And when he fell on hard times, everyone he pissed off came together to help him.
I donated.
Look who it is.
Nation.
What
the fuck do you have on your face, Olivia?
I'm Reed.
That's Reed.
You're supposed to shave your beard to come on, Magnus.
No, never. Fuck that.
Magnus, why are you here?
Dude, all I got was a DM from Justin saying, come bully Olivia with us. And I was like, let's go.
You're fake as fuck. No, this is actually so fake. This is getting into like Inception now because he DM'd me and was like, can you come on so we can bully Reed? And I was like, yeah.
See, he knows us so well. He could be like, see, Justin could be like, do you want to come on my podcast? We might be busy. He's like, bro, we got something important to talk about. We'll be like, but he's like, come on and bully someone.
That's horrible.
Jose
explanation.
wants everyone to know that Jose was responsible for the block Nick Sarwark move.
Yes, it was.
So
it was true.
Wait,
I just want people to know that Justin DM'd me with the words, do you own a fake mustache? And that was, I didn't really know what it was for. I assumed it was something Reed related, but I wasn't sure. And I was like, no. I
mustache, and it's like Reed.
I was like, no, I can make one though.
How did you
best, like I tagged Reed's mustache in a tweet about it, and Robin starts messaging me. She's like, what did I do? Like,
Wait, so if we're all here to bully Olivia, does that just further prove that libertarians are racist against?
Wait,
black
why is
conservatives?
everyone bullying me now?
Well, hey, Olivia, I wasn't planning on bullying you, but like you keep disavowing the extremist content that we're trying to shed light on.
True.
Can we bully Magnus? He's the new person.
There's nothing to bully Magnus.
I'm
more extremist than all of us.
unbullyable. Yeah, I'm the most extreme.
Okay,
but-
well,
This is perfect because I just tagged you in. I tagged both of you motherfuckers, and you included in this, Justin. Come on my fucking 12-hour podcast Saturday. Do it.
oh, is that why you're asking? Okay, because I like you
Probably.
texted me when I was on the live, and I was like, why is Magnus texting me? And I saw it, but I'm on a plane that day, so I cannot. I'm sorry.
It's 12 hours.
It's 12 hours. You're gonna be on plane for 12 hours.
I'm using that as an excuse for the whole day. So yeah.
Olivia, I need you.
Okay.
Half hour
respond
tops.
to that.
just give me half hour tops.
Well,
Is this like a marathon stream? you're
Magnus
doing?
has chimed in. So Magnus isn't aware of what we're actually celebrating today. And the reason we turned on Olivia, Magnus, is because she keeps disavowing our celebration of the greatest American hero to
John
have
McCain's
ever.
brain tumor.
Yes.
I can't. I
He knows. He knows.
So just for everybody,
To an American hero, winner of the Purple Heart, sacrifice them in combat
Olivia's
with
saluting too.
traitorous
no, I'm not.
swine.
I took my hand down.
so for everyone in chat, and now Magnus included, Olivia won't type this. Olivia's scared to type this, but if you type in chat hashtag rest in hell John McCain, you'll be entered to win tonight's stream raffle.
Also, I'm Reed, and Reed is Olivia.
But
so-
why would you have it rest in hell John McCain, and why wouldn't you have it be hashtag Team Tumor? Because I've been trying to get that trending on Twitter.
Oh my god,
Hey, we've got like
that's not going to.
we need future material, Magnus. All right. But hashtag rest in hell John McCain enters you to win tonight's stream raffle. It's free. You're gonna love it, and we're gonna draw it at the end of the stream tonight.
Magnus, did you know that Olivia cheated on me with Morgan because me and you cheated on Reed in Orlando?
But and Clint cheated on Reed with me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yourself. Not making sense. This suspension of disbelief is falling apart now.
Oh, okay.
No, I was in the same bed as Clint. Okay, so
Wait, when?
you were in the room.
Oh, wait, was I in the bed too?
We're not giving any context to this whatsoever. Y'all just gonna have to leave that.
I don't know.
alone.
I was like super drunk.
This may be the most incestuous like community I've ever been in, and I
Dude,
was
it
in
was
theater when I was
crazy.
in high
We
school.
were like, it was like a whole
Bro.
like. Okay, actually, no, we can't even say that because technically we weren't even allowed to be in each other's hotel rooms. So let me stop.
I don't give a fuck.
Allowed. To.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
State?
Young Americans for Liberty, take my freedom away.
They even set up like an anonymous like hotline to call if you saw people going into like each other's hotel rooms, but we really didn't give a fuck because it was
What, for
super-
COVID or some shit?
If anyone actually hit that hotline and we knew about it,
we
fucking
would just
me,
like fucking
me-
bully them.
me, Unicorn Daddy, and Liv would like suplex them into the alligator pool.
Oh my
Like, get
god,
the
it
hell
was
outta
so
here.
insane to see Unicorn Daddy in person because I was like, I've seen that guy's ass like 20 times. I was just like,
I know your exact quote was like, "This is a weird thing to open with, but
Ooh.
your ass is really famous."
oh my god.
Zach says no one outside the Liberty movement would want to touch a libertarian otherwise.
Because they're all
Exactly.
into incest.
Facts.
Exactly. See, that's the rule in the Liberty movement. You didn't break up. It's just no longer your turn.
So if you move to New Hampshire, when the rest of you finally get around to moving to New Hampshire for the Free State Project, it'll be like a week until some like random couple approaches you and asks, "Are you polyamorous?"
Oh my god, that's literally my worst nightmare. Also, that's happened to me like multiple times. I don't know why.
You don't know why.
I gotta say, I've lived in New Hampshire most
don't
of
wanna
my
be anyone's
life, but not all my
unicorn.
life, and that's never.
You
That's never
say
happened to me.
you say you don't want to be anybody. Well, I mean, no, never mind. You don't have the slit anymore, so you don't even have you.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the eyebrow slit. That was a bad face.
You don't
That
have
was
to.
bad.
I was gonna say that's usually the signal. That's what has the people
Oh my
like.
god, where did
Oh, is that
Olivia
a signal?
go?
Is that what that means?
Yeah, if you ever see a girl with a slit in her
It's
eyebrow,
like
that's
the
a
thing,
signal.
the line,
yeah,
the line
yeah.
for one sec. Oh no shit!
It's a
I know
signal.
that's hilarious.
This is
I
why you
thought
need to
it
talk to
was-
more gay people.
It's like-
Fucking
it's like-
straight toys.
Zach-
Don't know.
It's
Zach
like
is complaining.
The pineapple
Zach,
shirts, right? Pineapple shirts. Is that a thing?
I mean, that's the thing for boomers.
so
It's
Zach
on-
is
on
invoking
general-
his inner
alright.
Archie here and calling us a bunch of white people.
It's true.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Olivia's the whitest person in the world, so it's true.
Facts.
Well, I don't know. I think that Caitlyn might be the whitest person in the world here.
Caitlyn! I just want to point
Oh my
out
God.
that you look like Rastafarian Waluigi right now, and I just can't get that fucking image out of my mind.
This is literally racially motivated. I don't like it.
If it was a hate crime, I will expect a full apology, or you're going on Fakertarians.
Yeah. Disavow.
Oh.
Am I just being passed around by the Libertarians? This is horrible. This is not. This
Well,
is
you
not
haven't slept with any of.
Yeah.
I don't know what you know, Magnus, but I needed to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you guys?
No, that gives you a higher moral quality than the rest of us degenerates. You're
You're
pure.
just assuming I haven't slept with any Libertarians. I don't know why you
Caitlyn.
made that assumption.
Caitlyn, you're late to showing up, so you haven't been here for the proposal yet, for the rant yet. But we are celebrating the most prestigious American military hero, John McCain's brain tumor, with a giveaway. So if you type in chat #RestInHell John McCain, you will be entered to win the giveaway. We'll be drawing that at the end of the night. So again, it's #RestInHell John McCain.
Bro, if
Type
it
it into chat.
If I didn't already piss off my neighbors, I feel so patriotic right now that I would open that door and like fire some rounds into the air for like a 21 gun salute for John McCain's brain tumor.
I have to do that on the YouTube one because I'm entering that.
What?
Yeah, so in the YouTube chat, you can type, again, everyone, it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, Rest in Hell, John McCain.
Nice. I don't even need a reason to like type that. I would do it for fun. I've been having so much fun today. Like I got woken up with a text message that say it's John McCain's death day. Wake up. It was like, oh, like I didn't even check the chat like to like respond. I just went directly to Twitter and started tweeting. It was the best day I've had. In
Bro,
Oh, yeah.
we were talking about that earlier. I got reminded when I saw your tweet this morning. That's when I responded, "I love you," and then got in a fight with David. Apparently, that you picked the
Well,
fight.
it was funny because like
for it.
you said I love you, and then David said I love you within like 5 minutes of each other, and they were right like next to. So I was like, well, I have to do something.
I have to instigate by default.
Yeah, it was. Oh god. Every
But,
time
seriously,
I want
I've
to punch
spent-
him in the face whole.
I've
I had
spent
to
all
look up how
day
long
just
it's been.
going. I've spent all day just going into every single neocon's tweet that has anything positive to say about John McCain, and just posting the picture of him on stage with the neo-Nazi Oli Tonnybrook and just putting #Team Tumor. I've probably sent like 100 of those tweets today. Like,
That's so wholesome.
he's on stage with a neo-Nazi who talked about ridding Ukraine of the Polish and Jewish cockroaches. Fuck John McCain.
I am proud to be blocked by Meghan McCain on Twitter.
I'm not yet. I need to step up my game. I need to channel that Reed Coverdale energy.
He's not blocked by her. She hasn't blocked him yet.
That's amazing.
Right? I got a one.
She's probably too busy like feeding his information to the FBI or some shit.
So
Where the fuck did Reed go?
Reed
He's got bad signal in the truck,
Yep.
so he'll be back if he can.
He went through a tunnel.
I'm like wearing this mustache for no reason. I wore it to piss
Well,
off.
no.
people.
Well, no,
now
Reed's
you're the
here.
only Reed.
Olivia's
Now you're the
gone.
only Reed Coverdale.
That's true. What should I say to fuck up his reputation while he's gone?
Really hard to
he's
do.
definitely-
He fucks it up enough himself. So
That's
Admit to being racist.
I,
Archie will be able to tank him.
I already admit to being racist in my own personal life, so I guess I can make Reed racist too.
Wait, I thought black people couldn't be racist.
Reed is unironically less racist than I am, and he'll probably confirm that. Just
And
based
he's-
on-
dude, Liv, I
He's
just want to
also
tell you,
Mexican.
Liv. I want to tell you, Liv. I had the most ugly public laugh in my life when I read your fucking tweet about if a person walks up to you and says, put a mask on, you'll just scream that they called you the N-word and
I thought
film
it was
it.
funny. I thought it was.
I was
we do a
I
little
was-
trolling. We do a little trolling.
I was in Walmart like buying like breakfast for like the morning, and I was literally like, ha, like super loud.
I've been thinking about that for a while, but I wasn't sure if I should tweet it because I didn't know how people would take it. But today I was like, fuck it. So yeah, if anyone comes up to me, especially like a liberal middle-aged white woman who lets me on like the Metro, grocery store, CVS, whatever, and it's like, excuse me, can you put on your mask? I'm just gonna yell, did you just call me the N-word very, very loudly, and whip out my phone and start recording and just
That's so
I don't think that's
That's
wrong.
beautiful.
That's so
No,
fucking
that's-
I
funny.
told one lady that I was allergic to masks. I don't think she believed me, but she
Probably
shut up. So
I told Leslie Ann Peterson threw a fit. She's one of the Archie types in the Libertarian Party in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
She threw a fit after a picture started going viral of me and Joe Jorgensen, and
I remember this.
neither of us were wearing masks at a BLM rally in New Hampshire.
I
And
remember this. Oh my god.
she threw a fit, and I just responded to her once. I'm like, "Are you disability shaming me?" Like, I have PTSD from being in an accident in the Army, and I struggled to breathe when I have an obstructed airway. And I have a lisp that makes it hard for me to communicate when people can't read my lips. Are you disability shaming me? And she just like started flexing her jaw and like trying like to have something to come back with, and just turned around and walked away.
Like I said,
Nice.
use the ableist weapon. The ableist weapon is very powerful. Just call them ableist.
See,
You know,
I am
Oh, go ahead, Harry.
I'm the head reverend for the Church of the Human Face, so I have the biggest religious exemption you can. Our whole church is devoted to seeing each other's faces and understanding that human expression is most positively expressed through the face. And we believe that it is a sin to cover your face unless it is for imminent danger purposes, for purposes of keeping you safe, eyes. But COVID doesn't meet those restrictions.
Well, no, y'all are capping right now, but I think like the limit is like 10,000 people, like membership or whatever, to be an officially recognized religion, and then you get religious exemption. We could unironically do this. This is some like guerrilla activism here. I'm not even kidding. Like the light bulbs in my fucking brain just went off.
With only one
look
caucus
up-
of the Libertarian Party, we could do that.
Yes.
Go on Facebook right now and type in Church of the Human Face. You'll find a Facebook page. It's already been created. I have yet to do anything with it, but it's created. Go sign up for it right now. I just became an ordained minister last week, so now we can get this party rolling.
Wow.
So
If
here's
it
the
wasn't, like,
risk.
COVID time, I would think that that's like a weird like sex cult thing, but I'm just glad it's COVID.
Honestly, if it was a sex cult, I'd probably be down too.
Well, Olivia, we can start an offshoot read just for you if you'd like.
Okay.
Just for you and me.
So here's the risk. I know some people who tried to start the Church of the Invisible Hand a few years back, and they were a church that preached about free market economics, and they had a moral opposition to taxation because it was interfering with the free hand of the market. And their pope is currently in prison for money laundering and wire fraud.
Yeah.
But did they sit on their hands before self pleasure? The Church of the Invisible Hand, did they sit on their hands to make your hand go numb before they jerked off?
Are you not? Oh, no, I forgot. Bill has never read a book.
This is true.
Well, the invisible hand of the market. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the idea is...
No, you're thinking of the Church of the Hairy Palms.
The stranger's hand, where you sit on your hand or whatever. I don't know. It didn't land. It didn't land.
You're thinking of the Church of the Hairy Palm. It's okay. They're two separate organizations.
Give Bill some credit though. He's working out some new material because I booked Bill to come up and do our end of Prohibition party in December. So he's going to come up and do some comedy.
So you know who you
I just
need.
fell on my face with that joke.
So you know who you
but
need.
I'm giving you a shout out. You got to give him a break because he's working it.
There's this guy I know in Manchester. He's a Jew, and he fancies himself a stand-up comedian. They let him open for Dave and Robbie at Porkfest because they had time. No, Daniel Rothschild.
Daniel.
And he had the best one-liner joke I have ever heard at a libertarian event. And it requires some knowledge. Back in the day, crying Nazi Chris Cantwell used to do stand-up comedy at Porkfest every year.
He did? Is there a video of this?
Somewhere there is. And Daniel the Jew gets up on stage and introduces himself as, "Hi, I'm the Jew that replaced Chris Cantwell."
That's awesome.
The Bank, yes. Derek knows him. We call him The Bank because his last name is Rothschild.
Yeah, Daniel's funny. He's a nice guy.
He's funny as hell. Don't let him know I said that, though. I make fun of him. And I tell him he's not funny all the time because it makes him try harder, and that makes it even funnier.
I need to look up this kid's name, but there was actually a guy in like the OG Boogaloo chat that he claimed to be a Rockefeller, like a legit like fucking family descendant of the Rockefeller.
I'm just gonna tell you right now that guy was a Fed.
No, but I mean by default he would, if he's a Rockefeller, he's a Fed. But he would
he worked for Jay-Z.
He would post pictures like with like the 4chan timestamp of like, you know, hi boys with the time and everything.
Yeah.
Massive gun collection, massive car collection and shit like that. He would just sit here and just talk to us. And we're like, why are you here, dude? Like, you're like the Illuminati, bro.
Gather information report it to his superiors.
Oh wait, Magnus, did you tell everybody that story about how you were talking to this chick at Revolution, but you like had this like crazy assumption that she was a Fed? But like as you described it to me, I agree that she definitely was an informant, like for sure.
No, yeah, there was a person who walked up to me just like totally fucking randomly,
like unprovoked, and
unprovoked,
you were like, "Oh yeah,
unprovoked,
girl."
And she just started like dropping like a lot of details about shit like in my life and my friend's life that like nobody should know unless they were part of the movement. And it was just
her
like,
ex wasn't a boog boy or something.
Yeah, she claimed. Yeah, I can't go into too much detail about it, but it was super weird. Just random girl, like attractive girl, like walked up and was like, "Hey, fellow person, I know your whole about life."
But like, let's not get it twisted. You were super excited to talk to her at first, and I was sitting there listening to your conversation. You were telling her like way too much information.
No.
Yes,
no.
Yes, you were. We were outside. No, yes, you were. We were outside smoking cigarette outside of breakfast.
I told her nothing that isn't publicly accessible information. I ain't dumb. I ain't dumb.
To me, it was like more stuff that you had told me. So I was like,
okay. Hey, publicly
Olivia,
accessible is just determined by how cancelable you are.
Olivia, I've told you nothing but public information. You asked me for Clint's phone number and I wouldn't give it to you. That's how sus I am.
That was really rude. I had to get it from him directly. That was embarrassing.
That's how sus I am. If Caitlin asked me for David's phone number because she lost it, I'd be like,
I feel like we're not even friends now, Magnus. I don't know because I tell you stuff, or I would if you asked.
But
Magnus, try this one on for size. Try this one on for size, Magnus. I shared Monday's video. For those of you in chat who didn't got you should go back and look. Monday, I had a great conversation with Magnus, Adam Kakesh, and Scott Horton about ending the wars. It was
banned in the UK, boys.
I shared that video in the anti-war New Hampshire Facebook group, and within minutes there is like a mile-long comment thread of people saying Magnus is a Nazi, Adam Kakesh is a terrorist, and I'm a Trump sympathizing right-winger.
Oh my fucking lord!
What the fuck? Okay, so what did you guys say? And also, is there like a pro-war mandate in Europe? What's going on, or the UK? What's going on?
It took them 30 minutes. I streamed that live to YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook simultaneously. And within 30 minutes of it ending, I got a notice that it was restricted for distribution in the UK and Ireland.
What did you guys say?
War is bad.
War is bad.
War is bad. Vaccine mandates and war mandates in the UK.
Yeah, we mentioned nothing edgy or political or relevant besides war is bad and Afghanistan was a shit show.
That we're better off without John McCain.
I don't even think we mentioned John McCain.
Did we? I don't remember. We should have.
I think every day is a good day to mention how much better the world is because John McCain
Scott Horton did say the only way we could ever defeat the Taliban was by carpet bombing the entire country and killing every last man, woman, and child.
Which is true.
Damn.
That is true.
Yep.
Well, that might have been it.
Damn. And people who don't know Scott Horton would take that totally the wrong way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like that's a crazy thing to say, but it's like that's fucked up.
Well, either way, 100% true.
Are you willing to do that? It's like with the vaccines, right? I was thinking today in the shower, it's like how many people are willing to violently or to use of force to like get other people vaccinated? How many people are willing to use force to resist? And it's like we cannot go down this road. You know what I'm saying?
Half of Australia.
Yeah, I mean, Australia is
fucking crazy.
Mad fash, bro. Mad.
Did you guys see the video of the 12-year-old girl trying to go to a convenience store?
Yeah.
And she got fucking tear gassed. Well, not
tear gassed and like dragged around by like 6 cops, and her sister's sitting there recording it. And her sister's just like, the coppers don't have masks. What the fuck?
Well, did you see they have fucking police helicopters just flying around with megaphones being like, like no public gatherings. If you're spotted outside without a valid reason, you will be arrested. Blah blah blah. Like, bro.
They found 4 teenagers who went to the beach in the middle of the night, $1,000, called their parents, had them pick them up, and then did you hear about the animal shelter?
Yeah, they killed dude.
In Australia,
to prevent volunteers from going in and helping the animals in the animal shelter, like feeding them. They went in and fucking shot every dog in the animal shelter, even though there were no positive cases in that area for like weeks or even months. Yeah. Yeah,
but you know what, Spock? The truth is, I prefer my governments to be authoritarian, because the only way that a government will ever collapse is if it's truly authoritarian.
I mean, you're right. If you're going on the collapse.
So you know how that makes me feel when I heard that story?
Yo, Southern
killing dogs.
Crazy.
You know how that makes me feel?
Wow.
That doesn't make me nearly as angry as the thought of the old people who've been locked inside their single room fucking units at nursing homes and shit for the last 18, 20 months.
No, that makes me mad too. But
that makes
at
me
least
so much more angry than fucking whatever happens. And like, I love dogs, but like,
here now I'm strapped too. This is what I got.
That's the thing. Hey, like, you got to put this in context. These motherfuckers went to a rescue shelter to dogs that were in fucking cages and looked them in the eyes and fucking shot them.
That it is fucked up.
Every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. Every single one of them in front of the fucking.
And then the 4 babies who had like heart complications or whatever, we wouldn't give them the heart surgery because of like COVID restrictions or whatever the fuck, and they're dead. Like, well, at least they didn't get COVID. Like,
yeah, bro. Thank God I'm not in Australia. I'd be in jail.
I think we all would, honestly, just for like.
Now you're here. Now that I'm remembering, you need to do something because your girl says she doesn't own a gun.
Who?
Reed.
What?
No, the real Reed. She says she doesn't own a gun.
Yeah, because she lives in fucking hell.
I live in communist Maryland.
Yeah, she lives in the worst fucking, arguably one of the worst gun control states ever. So.
Yeah. So
see, in New Hampshire, you can buy things like this right over the counter.
Did you see? Someone made Olivia. Somebody made a Duncan Lemp version of "Come Out Ye Black and Tans," and it's so good.
No,
I'll drunk sing this on show. This is how committed.
Come out, ye black and tans.
They made a Duncan Lemp.
Fight me like a man.
They made a Duncan Lemp version.
Short story about that at Porkfest this year, or Forkfest the week after Porkfest, because we stayed an extra week. Ran into 4th of July, and I don't know if y'all remember, but I accidentally created the world's greatest meme repository on 4th of July when I tweeted out. I tweeted out the last meme saved on your phone is why Facebook thinks you're an extremist, and got over 4 million responses.
Dude, that was insane how that took off.
Like,
it went viral on both like Twitter and Facebook, which is hard to do.
Like my non-libertarian friends were sending me like screenshots from their friends in other countries with pictures of my tweet. I'm like, what the fuck?
I had normie friends from high school like sharing that shit. It was like, hey, I know them.
Yeah. But somebody sent me one that was it was the guy in a MAGA hat saying, I'm a Republican. And then like the little cartoon saying, me too. The MAGA hat's like, what state are you from? He's like, Ireland. He's like, oh, fuck. Come out, ye black and tans. And so I'm like, all right, 4th of July, all I'm going to play is Irish protest music.
Dude, if I ever go down, what they're going to play in court to like fuck me is just my unabashed, shameless IRA posting of just fucking Irish dudes just walking through Dublin with fucking ARs and shit.
I put on a playlist on loop for 12 hours on 4th of July, as loud as I could. That included Kinky Boots, Come Out Ye Black and Tans.
I'm already doxxed. So for people who don't know, my last name is Doherty. Like my mom's side of the family is Irish as fuck. I have people that like in my family tree that were like over there during like the Troubles and shit. So like, yeah.
I'm a Kirkpatrick. So
the guy camping next to me was British.
Shut the fuck up, Anglo.
And he starts like trying to argue with me. He's like, the IRA lost. I'm like, no, they didn't. He's like, they lost. I'm like, it's an independent country. He's like, they're a bunch of cowards. I'm like, they killed a bunch of black and tans. And I just kept blasting, Come Out, You Black and Tans. And he's like, why are you fucking playing that? It's British music on 4th of July. I'm like, it's songs about killing British people. If you're not singing about killing British people, you're not doing 4th of July, right?
That's
Did
fucked
you
up.
say it with the Irish accent too?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Okay, I shared it on the screen. You should pull this up. It's in the queue. This is so good. Someone made this.
You fucking pigs. Come out and fight me with your eggs. Tell your wives how you got your pension down in Maryland. How you shot down Duncan Lamp and his wife right where they slept. And you turned on his unborn child into an orphan.
Wow, that's sad.
That's pretty good.
Dude, literally, like, if I could get like 100 people outside of the fucking MC Montgomery County Police Department to just scream that at the top of their fucking lungs,
Dude,
I will die. I will die happy.
I'll be there. I'll be there so fast. I'd be tweeting at Montgomery County Police Department on Twitter too, because I live here, and it happened like, I don't know, 15 minutes from where I live. So like that really.
Yeah. If you don't follow, it's a MCP News on Twitter. It's the Montgomery County Police Department. If you don't follow them and just talk shit under every single post they have and call them a bunch of fucking murderers and pieces of shit, you're not a good libertarian.
Or just
you want to talk about piece of shit police departments? Manchester, New Hampshire. The police department posted on Facebook that they were hiring and the process to apply. And in the post for jobs, it said, including great special benefits, such as qualified immunity.
Oh, yeah.
And then later on in the post, it said benefits, including health insurance, 401k, qualified immunity. Like, as a benefit, a perk of the job.
You can beat black people and not get charged. Sign up today.
Have you ever wanted to violate civil rights and get away with it?
Oh, man. They had to retract.
Are you a bully with a tiny penis? Join the cops.
Do you find your wife's face immensely punchable?
But if anybody wants to know, I am an admin on a Facebook page called the Manchester, New Hampshire Police Fan Page. Where all we do is post videos of Manchester police abusing people and abusing their power.
Based.
You would be shocked the messages that come to that page of people trying to narc on their neighbors, people seeking state enforcement of petty shit.
Oh, bro, I bet during COVID that was fucking wild.
There is a message from a woman trying to narc on her son for dealing drugs.
Bitch.
What a
bitch. Right?
Mom privileges revoked.
I would have just like screenshot it and sent it to her son on Facebook.
We did.
Do that? Can you find her son?
Justin, you're a fucking hero.
We had someone track down her son and give him the screenshots of his mother trying to narc on him to the cops.
Good man.
Based. Lethally based.
What happened?
So my hometown, like the one I grew up in Missouri, just had their Facebook page taken down. Because libertarians got a hold of it. And it's funny because like I was like off Facebook that day, so like I didn't see anything. And then I saw like someone that I've been in groups with forever, like talking about the Plattsburgh, Missouri Police Department, how we won. I'm like, wait, what? Like, it's a town of 2,000 people. Like, people don't just like casually mention this. So they like busted a bunch of teenagers for sneaking into the community pool in the middle of the night and said that they were endangering their lives and the lives of others, and that they had one of the kids' phones, and that they were just like trying to extort them to come get it or whatever. But like, libertarians got them to delete their Facebook page completely.
So one of my favorite pastimes is anytime a police department posts stuff about a gun buyback they're hosting, is to report it to Facebook for unauthorized sale of firearms.
Yeah. Wait, Reed, what the fuck?
You are Reed. What are you talking about? You are Reed.
What is his name?
Hey guys, I'm a black conscientious conservative. Thanks for letting me back in. And you know, we shouldn't allow people who have sex transitions on women's sports teams. Just saying, because I hate them all. So
is that my only shtick? Is that the only thing you can think of? Fuck you.
Go on about reparations at least. Come on, let's go.
All right.
Reparations. I actually haven't heard you on reparations.
What? That's
you should. I did a whole I did like a whole podcast with Larry Sharp about it on his channel.
I have an idea for that one.
Did Archie call you guys racist?
Probably.
Probably. I mean, I was called a xenophobe and a transphobe by Elliot Shearman, who probably told me to shut up, trash, and then blocked me. So
Olivia is a bigot, correct?
But no, okay, Justin, I have to. Speaking of taking over Facebook pages, I have to tell you the Ballad of the Penguin Platoon, because this is the greatest shit ever. Right. So a year ago, there was an Andrew Cuomo fucking Facebook fan page that had like, I think it was like 300,000 followers or some absurd shit on it. Like it was just a page dedicated to dick sucking the Cuomo brothers.
The Cuomo-sexuals.
Yeah, pretty much. One of our guys in the Boogaloo movement went like deep cover for like a month and just pulled off looking like the biggest Cuomo supporter in the world. And he got admin privileges. So he kicked all the other admins, changed the name to the 52nd Penguin Platoon, and all of these Democratic boomers were trapped with us because they didn't know how to leave a Facebook group. So they were just like freaking out, like, what happened to this page? I thought it was just dedicated to the Cuomo bros.
All like the middle-aged white women who like thirst over the Cuomo.
We're just like,
oh my
we're
god!
Just, like, posting pictures of like fucking like Waco and shit, and they're just having a giant meltdown.
That's amazing.
So if you ever see a picture of a 52nd Penguin Platoon patch on some guy's bulletproof vest at a protest, that's like a reference to that shit show.
I love that.
So we had kind of the exact opposite problem, where we had a Facebook page stolen from us when Daryl Perry didn't get his way in the LPNH election.
That was before they stole the whole party.
Right, before they stole the entire goddamn party. So, God, I'm surprised I'm still a member of the LP after that drama. I got pissed.
Nah, dude, that shit was fun.
As an outsider looking in, it made me not want to join the LP. So,
wait, what makes
like,
you want to join the LP ever when the LP is doing something?
Literally nothing ever.
Exactly.
But people want to join
They're
it.
They're pretty cringe.
The only reason I joined is because of stupid shit they were doing. I was finally like, okay, fine, I'll officially join. That's what got me to do it.
I was part of it for years, but I haven't actually been a member for like 2 years now. Even though I work for Spike and I work for like a bunch of candidates and shit, I'm not a member. Fuck that.
There's that meme that went around. I think I tagged you in it, Caitlin, where it's like the Libertarian Party National Convention, and there's two people hiding around the corner with a Hawaiian shirt and a net. It's like,
I feel like you guys like circumvented that because I never joined, but you're already trying to turn me into an anarchist, and I don't know how to cope with that.
That's how it's done.
I like didn't even go. It's like straight from like MAGA to anarchist pipeline.
How could you talk to Carrie Wedler for an hour?
Do you know what the difference between a libertarian and an anarchist is?
6 months.
6 months.
It was 7 years.
That was my first libertarian book 5 years ago.
Took me
What was that, Liv?
I said Carrie definitely did a good job trying to convert me. I think she did better than Reed.
Reed's just like
Reed was all fucking mad because I like kind of blew it out of proportion. But I told her, I was like, well, you're doing better than Reed because Reed always tries me to like commit a terrorist attack with him or something.
Well, first of all, I talked about Spooner when you had me on the show the first time, and that's what you guys talked about, and it was like the first time you'd ever heard it. So it was like, it's fine now.
I told you, I have a bad memory. Like I have like a
your mind has to be ready for it. Like sometimes it just is.
My mind isn't even fully developed yet. I'm still a child. I don't know why you expect me to understand.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
She's a baby.
Wow.
I feel old as shit right now.
How old are you? I thought you were like 20.
I just avowed.
I'm 30, actually.
No, you're fucking not.
I think everyone in here is closer to 30 than 20 by a nice margin.
I still get carded everywhere, so like I don't feel old, but yeah, no, I'm 30.
Everyone
can't
thinks
drink a beer,
like late 30s,
I can't talk
but
to you.
it's not true. Wait, Justin, didn't you think I was older than you? How old are you?
I'm 31.
Yeah, you thought
Reed,
I was
you fucking radiate like stepdad energy, like
I know.
no other man I've ever seen in my life.
So the more important question is, Reed, how old is your sister?
Giggity.
My younger one, the one in the picture,
Yeah.
17 and a half, we'll say.
So Reed tags his sister in a public post on Twitter where he's followed by just some of the worst scum of the Liberty movement.
Your poor fucking sister, dude.
He actually only picked up like 10 followers, and they weren't complete degenerate ones. So,
Oh, give it time.
I hovered over that follow button. Like
The fucking Coomers will come, dude. It's out in the wild now.
oh well.
Mistakes were made.
So what even was this podcast supposed to be about? Because now it just seems to be all my
Extremism.
friends on Twitter getting drunk.
no,
Oh, yeah. Olivia, see, you're at like baby's first anarchism. Give it like
I
6 months and
can't
you'll
get
be like,
drunk because I'm in a truck.
No, I honestly don't predict me making the switch to anarchism. I think you guys are making a good case for it, but I don't predict that'll go all the way.
Well,
See-
okay,
see?
so you just joined the Libertarian Party, right?
I'm not even in the party. I joined the Mises caucus, though.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, if
difference.
you join the party, give it 3 months, and that will be the quickest thing to radicalize you ever, because the party's a fucking
Well,
shit.
you're still young. You still have to go through like 2 more aborted fucking elections before you just give up on.
I was like,
wait.
I joined like my state party, and I was on my executive committee. I was like a regional chair or whatever the fuck. I was in charge of 13 counties, building affiliates. I've moved from like state to state. The state I'm in now is a fucking shit show. It's like even worse. But like I've been through all that, and then I helped out with national. I've been on net presidential campaigns. I will never join that party again. Like I will work with the candidates. I'll help get shit done. Direct action all the way. Like work with Spike and shit. But like, fuck no.
Like I said, like give it a year, and Olivia's going to be posting that picture of the ATF agents getting shot at Waco. Like, just give it time.
I'll post that. I've already retweeted that before. That I don't think that makes me.
But you won't retweet Meghan McCain crying.
Yeah.
See, this is why I won't
So
become see, like, what the fuck even is this? Like, this is why I won't become anarchist, because y'all are crazy.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Well,
We're gonna revisit this in a year, and Olivia's gonna be complaining that we're all statist pieces of shit who don't go far enough.
When I was her age, I was a fucking shitty like Marxist Leninist, like would have been an AOC simp, and it
I
took
could
me
totally
this long
see
to
that.
radicalize to where I am now.
You can be an AOC simp without agreeing with her.
Yes.
I was
No, it's the Thomas Sowell meme. It's like, do not be hypnotized by the big old socialist titties.
No, it's okay. You can
Agreed.
watch that video
Whoa.
of her dancing like a billion times, like any normal person would, and also not like be a socialist. Like it's
Okay,
fine.
so where are the big anarchist titties that are gonna radicalize me? Because that might work.
Sky,
I've got them.
Oh, that's
Sky's
true.
got the big old anarchist titties.
She's like kind of a lefty anarchist, though. I know that
Yeah,
she doesn't use that
she's-
label, but she's
She's
definitely.
she's an
She's an
anarcho-communist.
actual anarchist. She's not like a fake, like sort of. Left.
Jessica Vaughn.
Dude, it's so funny how many libertarians follow Sky because she just never posts about her personal politics, and then she comes on my show and she's like, "Yeah, I'm an anarcho-communist. I'm like a
I
big
love
fan
Sky.
of like
We had a whole
Bakunin."
conversation. We had a whole
Like,
conversation about like living on a commune and shit on my channel, and I disagree with all of it. But I was like, you know what? The titties.
you playing the video? Are you playing the big old socialist titties?
Oh,
That's
well,
it. That's
Boston
it.
University,
I'm a
the
socialist.
pride of Boston. Right
I'm
here.
a socialist.
That's
She's
it.
younger than Reed's sister
Olivia.
in this video.
We were supposed to destroy the Coomers, not become the Coomer.
I literally am a Coomer now.
Fuck.
What is a Coomer?
Really? That's the one that does it for you?
You don't know what a
Not-
Coomer is?
Just like a degenerate, like a sad little.
A
sin.
Coomer is like a Zoomer, but all they do is jerk off all day. They donate
Yeah,
all their money
they're
to
like a
Twitch
porn
streamers. They have like all their income go to OnlyFans, and they
Oh.
just jerk off 6 times a day. They're Coomers.
That's what I do on Twitter all day.
That's why when you see those,
Interesting.
when you see like Caitlyn post that one, it was like forever ago. You posted that meme of like, you know, you can just Google tit and hundreds of things come up. You don't have to like
Google big boob 1 million results.
right.
That
like,
shit's. So that's a whole
that's
phenomenon. It's like a
Coomers.
name for a whole phenomenon that's been around for a while, I guess.
yeah.
Ever
Coomers.
since they came out with Craigslist or whatever.
Yeah, because you have these kids.
Tell you
who
what,
don't
I'm gonna
donate
be honest, guys.
hundreds of thousands of dollars to like a Twitch streamer to show her boobs when you can just Google tit. Those
It's
are
not
Coomers.
AOC.
And there's
It's
every
not
kind of
AOC. It's not AOC that's turning the fucking kids into simps for the left. It's okay, boomer girl.
It is, dude. It's Nico Lol.
I've never seen
You're
this.
right.
See,
You'd
I
be
never
fine,
understood
bro.
this one.
She
I
was
never
only
understood
12.
this. That's what I thought. Like when I first saw this, it was before it went viral. I just like somebody retweeted on my timeline, and I was like, "This is a child just dancing." I was like, "Cool." And then everyone started simping, and it got like super viral. And I was like, "Are you guys pedophiles?" Because I feel like
She's
this
older
doesn't
than
even-
you.
I feel like she doesn't even look like an adult.
Well,
Am I
you
wrong?
guys-
She looks
I will
like she's
say-
like 13, maybe.
Did you
No,
guys
she's
not
like
catch the drama?
23 now or some shit.
No, like I get that she's an adult, but
Did
like
you
when
catch
I
the
first saw
drama
I
with
thought
her
she was
after
a
this?
child. Well, yeah, because she was like is a millionaire and was like posting up in like her like it was like 12 like her like apartment tour and all this.
She's
shit. And I
she's
was
a
like,
millionaire off of selling Eat the Rich shirts.
yeah. So I get that,
Yeah.
but like literally,
I love it.
I thought
support
she
it,
was
actually.
like in middle school.
Tasty. But see, we can't talk about looking 13 when we have Caitlyn here. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
So I don't know what Zach's going on about in chat, but
Sing
Oh,
us
you
some
guys
kind of
won't get
song.
that reference. It's a song.
Zach's just simping for Olivia all night.
No, it's like it's a friendly relationship.
Well, no,
She's
it's like
got
an elementary
dedicated
school. You pick
coomer.
on them.
Dedicated. No, stop. Put some respect on Zach's name.
So if I remember correctly, like OK Boomer Girl, like she was giving an apartment tour on TikTok, and like the internet autists like triangulated her address based on what they could see out of the window.
Oh my god!
And then looked up the
my
real
biggest nightmare. That is my
and
biggest
then
nightmare.
looked up the real estate transaction records and found out that she bought it was a $3 million apartment that she paid cash for.
Wow.
That's pretty.
That's actually my biggest nightmare because I feel like people generally like kind of know where I live because I used to like not really care when I was on the internet. And so like people like know like my hometown and stuff, which is fine because it's not like a small town or anything. But I've also been recognized in public like a couple times like around DC, and it's like scared the shit out of me every single time. And one time I was getting on the metro like after like wrestling practice, so I looked like shit. Like, and somebody recognized me. I was like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me ever. So I feel like I can't get like that famous to like the OK Boomer Girl point because I'll just like kill myself because I don't want people to triangulate where I live and shit.
Well, you don't want people showing up to your house like they did mine.
So it happened to me once.
Keep training, fuck them up. Like
it
get on the
happened
bus,
to me
fuck
once.
the first person that recognizes you up.
That's what I say. Like
that
would be the funniest thing in the world if some clueless pervert tried to take a pass at you, Olivia. He'd be so fucked.
Yeah,
just Conor McGregor them, you know, just like fuck up the first fan that you encounter.
She gave me a playful slap on the back of her head on my head.
Yeah, I don't even remember you. You're telling everyone that I slapped you and I hit you in Orlando. It
was like a joke. Like I made a shitty joke that deserved being slapped for making it, and you like slapped me on the back of the head. But that was the moment I was like, oh, Olivia could fuck me up.
Oh, you said I did it like 6 times on Twitter.
Yeah, because I kept making shitty jokes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I usually keep my hands to myself. If I did that, you probably deserved it.
No, yeah, I did deserve it. And besides, Olivia, I hang out with people that tase each other for fun.
Like, this is what I love about my job is like I can like reach millions of people and do all these things and nobody knows who the fuck I am. Like I'm faceless. I have other accounts. I make other people look good. I write shit for other we're
gonna make Spawn Cohen famous.
Like people in the LP know who I am, but like that's like
all right, you wanna know what's fucking terrifying?
So nobody cares.
I was giving a contract pitch for a consulting gig like a week or so ago, and like I got him to like, okay, we want to talk to you to talk to the vice president of training. He's the one who oversees the whole training program that you'll be running. I'm like, sweet, and get the Zoom link, and I log on, and the dude is like fanboying out. He's wearing LP Mises Caucus gear for the interview, like not like professional. Oh, I'm like, well, I'm fucking overdressed for this Zoom call. And he's like, I was hoping it was you. I was hoping that was the Justin O'Donnell I was going to talk to. Oh, this is incredible. I'm like, this is fucking weird.
I would like ghost on the spot. I would just hang up and ghost.
Did you see what fucking David posted? He's like, I'm competing with Reed Coverdale to see who can drop in and out of the podcast most.
David hasn't managed to say anything. He keeps logging on and dropping and hasn't managed to actually contribute.
But no, Olivia, do you remember Photography Bro? Yeah,
I do.
The guy with the flag shorts.
Yeah, that just kept appearing out of nowhere. He's like, "Let me take a picture of you."
Yeah, I do. And then he like came up and started taking pictures of me, and I was like, okay. And he's like, hey, I liked your most recent live stream with Malcolm Flex. I was like, oh fuck no, like this is somebody who knows who I am.
Bro, I understand why celebrities go to jail for like suplexing.
Dude, like I like the picture of Britney Spears like slamming a fucking umbrella and she's like bald. Like that's how I felt in Orlando. Like, and I don't know that I don't mean to sound like cocky because I actually hated it. Like I actually please don't fucking talk to me.
I can admit to this because I'm self-employed. At PorkFest this year, one day, I did a lot of LSD based.
You were sending me pictures that day. That was fun.
Some random dude from California, whose name I could not tell you, walked up to me as I was trying to make my way to the bathroom to ask me for an autograph.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? And I'm just like completely fucked up. Like, I'd really love for you to sign a copy of your book. And then I remember, like, I wrote a book. Like, I was so deep and fucked that I'd forgotten that I wrote a book.
You just ruined that guy's image of you. Like, completely.
And this guy's standing in front of me with a copy of my book as I'm just trying to go take a shit in a porta potty in the woods, asking me to sign a copy of my book.
Bro, I had this kid follow me around Yal for like an hour. Like when I went to the bathroom, when I sat down to eat food, he just kept asking me questions about the Boogaloo.
He was like, with it.
I don't know, some fucking scraggly rat-looking fucking kid.
That does not narrow it down.
Yeah, I know, fair.
Justin, I had a pretty similar experience at Porkfest. I was leaving from the Mises 10. It was one of the couple of days that I did some drugs, and I hear this guy go, "Harrison." What? And I turn around and he's like, "Hey, I don't know you yet, but I'm Benjamin. I'm from Maine, and that's my state." So he's seen me around, heard me on the radio and vice chair, so he knows who I am. And he starts asking me all these questions, and I'm just like, yeah, let's get you on the Facebook page. That's definitely what we need to do right now. So I felt so bad, though, because I couldn't answer any of his questions. I was just like blank-minded. I had nothing to say.
So the Mises Caucus movie that they put out, the little Porkfest trailer for Mises Caucus, there's a scene in the beginning with Tom Woods interrupting a conversation between me and Karen Ann when he showed up. And the amount of ketamine and LSD I was on while Tom Woods is trying to talk to us, I didn't know that it was Tom Woods. And I just thought, like, fuck this guy.
You did LSD and fucking some special K? Some fucking horse tranquilizer? Let's go.
Your guys are setting horrible examples for me.
No, literally, I shared that meme where I'm like, it's like a picture of Tom Hanks looking all serious, and it's like normal people making fun of ivermectin because it's used in animals, and then there's a dude who's passed out on Tom Hanks' shoulder, and it's like me tripping balls on horse tranquilizer. Oh God.
I was like,
Southern remembers that night.
Yeah, I was high as shit at Rev, and like I walked out of the room and saw
just that Rev.
Yes, I actually don't really smoke weed that often. I smoke weed a lot more lately with David. But yeah, no, I don't smoke that often. But anyway, I was at Rev, walked out of the room, saw Kennedy standing there. I didn't even know she was gonna be there, and I was like, oh my God, like I have to meet her. So I did, and I like awkwardly, it was like,
I remember I was standing right next to you during that.
Yeah, like, hello, I'm Caitlin. I'm Spike Cohen's communications director. And then like we talked about Spike for a second, and then I forgot how words work, and it was like super awkward. And then I was like, I'm really high, and I don't know what to say, so I just like awkwardly like, okay, nice to chat with you, and then just like walked away awkwardly.
That's better than I did.
Remember that every night.
Scared to even talk to her.
Derek makes a very valid point. I am just upset that all my Sims are dudes.
I'm upset that all my Sims are dudes. Like, where are the bitches? I'm more upset than you are, I guarantee.
Do you want more girl Sims?
Why is there no cute e-boys in the Libertarian Party? They're all scraggly rat motherfuckers or chads. I'm not attracted to either of those.
The Libertarian Party isn't exactly flush with.
Where's the Libertarian Party e-boy caucus?
And the Libertarian Party, you kind of get what you get, I think.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
If you want,
why I hang out with the
leftists. To really like people for their personality.
If you want a Libertarian e-boy, make one.
Caitlin, you can't say that.
No, Magnus. Magnus,
obviously,
you can't expect the e-boys to come to you. You have to go get the e-boys and teach them about anarchy.
See? That's what
I'm
saying.
sick of... I married a fucking lefty. I dated a lefty for 3 years. I'm over it. No more. Give me the anarchist e-boy boyfriend. Do it.
Honestly, if you go through Vermin Supreme's followers, you might find some.
Move to New Hampshire, I'll introduce you to one. But he's kind of weird, and he spends all his money on research chemicals online just to see what'll get him more fucked up.
My kind of people.
Justin, who are you talking about?
He's not in the LP.
Okay, never mind.
Free stater.
I thought, nope, never mind.
Nope, local.
Okay.
I posted a screenshot right now of this podcast It's just Harrison looking like he's seen the most disgusting shit in his world. Justin smiling, Caitlin looking really confused, Olivia fucking looking like Waluigi, and then at the bottom it just says type rest in and then the bottom it just says type rest in hell, John McCain.
This is horrible. Actually, I do have to get off because I still have to leave. I have to leave my house at like 4 a.m. to go catch this flight.
Before you go, you gotta peep this fucking where's it at? Chromecast.
Yeah, the best part about this, guys, is like next week I'm having Gary Vaynerchuk on.
There you go.
I am so excited for that.
So
by the way.
What the fuck is going on here?
I kind of like that I missed the photo.
Yeah, you were spared.
Okay, before I go, I should let you guys know I'm not actually
What
Reed.
the fuck?
Wow.
What?
Olivia, there's glue on my face. But
That's
yeah.
it.
Oh my god.
How many guns have you racked in this podcast?
I mean,
Oh my god, there's hair all over my face.
That's all I did during the entire podcast we had with Shu on. Is I just continually kept picking my AR and racking it into the camera.
Oh, she agreed to come on my channel too, so that's gonna happen sometime.
Are you guys converting her? Are you converting Shoe on Head?
I told her
podcast at a time.
I slid in her
You have
DMs.
an
I was
army
like,
of libertarian simps after.
I slid in her DMs. I was like, I'm gonna convert you into a libertarian and my girlfriend, and she was like, okay. So
Fucking Chad Olivia. Oh
I'm
my
honestly
god,
kind of a Chad when it comes to me. Like,
bro.
That's
This is why this is my best friend right here. She just mega fucking
You don't even know what's
obliterate
the point.
Chad.
she agreed to come on my show after I told her I titled the episode "I Can Fix Her."
To be fair, Shu went on Tower Gang when the fucking thumbnail was what the thumbnail.
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I told her I wouldn't make a bad thumbnail though, and she was like, great.
No, you gotta hire fucking Top Lobster to do a bad thumbnail now.
No, I want to. But
I love the thumbnail that Justin did for our episode on Monday. Like, I was not expecting that picture, but it is kind of perfect. It's like my face is like, what the fuck is wrong with you face? It's pretty good.
hold on, let me find it.
okay, y'all. Olivia, the real Olivia has to peace out.
Yeah, I also
Bye-bye,
go to the
imposter.
bathroom, and I've been on a podcast for like
Later, Olivia.
2 hours.
Peace.
Again,
I've been on a podcast for 3 hours straight as of now because I just came from a podcast to go on this podcast. So I'm gonna go pee and get food. Deuces, love y'all, fucking family. Bye.
Great thumbnail. It's about sending a message.
You look like a fucking elf from Lord of the Rings, like a still shot out of Lord of the Rings or some shit. You're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
no, I think I was literally saying, what the fuck is wrong with you when that photo was taken. I was like a professional, like,
Caitlin, you're one of my favorite humans. I love it. See y'all later.
yeah.
See, I want to make a trailer that includes the scene of Heath Ledger's The Joker saying, "It's about sending a message," but I don't want to get copyrighted again. The mouse is already coming after my YouTube channel.
There's a certain amount you can put, like, there's like a clip length you can acceptably put up there, isn't there? It's like 7 seconds or something, or 15 seconds.
So Sky News is coming after me for 9 seconds of the 9/11 footage.
Really?
Yeah. And Disney is coming after me for using the scroll. Not for the music, for the scroll.
What?
Yeah.
Weird.
That's like, you can get free software that does that for you.
Right.
You just can't publish it anywhere.
You just can't be monetized. They put ads on the video.
monetization.
Disney put ads on my video that Disney's getting the revenue for.
Huh. So you think you should be allowed to use the scroll?
So
I-
it sounds like IP laws are bullshit.
We all know IP laws are bullshit. So IP laws are so bullshit. I'm currently working on a book, and I'm not writing a book. I'm collecting all of Stephan Kinsella's essays about intellectual property and collating them into a book called The Case for Intellectual Property by Stephan Kinsella, and I'm going to publish it under my account on Amazon. Just to prove a point to Stephan Kinsella, because if he complains, no one will ever take him seriously again.
That's fucking funny, dude. That's a great troll.
I got the idea from Michael Malice because he made how much fucking money on that anarchist handbook, and he didn't write a word of it.
So students sell a prime target for the same type of book.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. The fact that Michael Malice made so much money on a book he didn't write aggravates me, because I've written 3 books and I've made like $100 to $400 on all of them. And it's like, what? Because, you know, I've written books on everything. I've written historical fiction books. I've written an economics book. I wrote a book to help you talk to your friends and family and do more outreach and fundraising and all that shit for the LP and for the movement. Ain't nobody buying my books.
So Chase Geisler made a fuck ton of money because he had #1 Amazon bestseller titled How to Hack the Amazon Bestseller List, and it ended up being the #1 bestseller for like 2 weeks. It was 1 page as a PDF that he published as a Kindle book, and it just said, artificially inflate and lie about your pre-sale numbers. That was the entire book. It was like a 2-sentence book, and it ended up being an Amazon bestseller, and the comments are fucking hilarious. Like people commenting on Goodreads, like, I think there's a mistake. It's only 1 page long.
Oh, good.
Hey,
you know
McCain's brain tumor is
back. We have
back.
a very special guest here.
I have to go grab a burrito.
What up, though? Yeah, no, I just had to switch from the computer to the phone so I could smoke my cancer sticks.
Oh, what's up?
Elliot wants Harrison to link his books. I got some of the links in the last video I did with Harrison, Elliot, but I'll have him put them in chat when he comes back.
Wait, did you guys not meet at Porkfest? Harrison, you should have met Elliot at Porkfest, dude. You guys definitely should line up. He does the Liberty Block.
Elliot's pretty cool. I haven't interacted with him in a while, but
Harrison, put the links to your books in the chat.
Will do.
Yeah, I want those links too. I haven't read your books. I'm sorry, it's a terrible friend, but you know.
It's okay, Caitlin. I still love you.
To be honest, I don't really read much anymore. I don't have time for that. But
Harrison, you doing the audio?
Oh my God, I forgot to bring it up when Magnus was still here. Harrison, on September 11th, Magnus is running the big End the Damn Wars protest in DC, while you're running the Defend the Guard one up in Maine. And they are listing a whole bunch of state-based protests as affiliate protests for theirs and marketing them on their website. You need to link up with Magnus and get your Defend the Guard protest affiliated with the End the Wars protest.
Yes,
what's
I do.
the Defend the Guard protest about?
Basically, just bring the troops home, coupled with a piece of legislation that we're trying to run to make it so that the governor takes over command of the National Guard the way they're supposed to. Make it so that one of the 3 qualifications for sending our National Guard troops to war is met, and make sure that a declaration of war has been signed before our National Guard troops are allowed to leave the state for anything other than inter-country peacekeeping.
What we should do is make sure they have to be vaccinated before they can be deployed. That should be the law that they pass. If you're not vaccinated, you can't go die overseas. Sorry, you know?
Well, I mean, to be fair, they already have those for like literally every vaccine. So it's nothing new to them. It just sucks.
They just,
I know it gets mandates no matter what, but at least they're used to it.
They just announced there's a legislation. It's House resolution. I can't remember which one it is, but it just got submitted to committee yesterday. It's a 1-page bill. I usually love 1-page bills, but the title of the bill is to instruct the Director of Homeland Security to require vaccines on all flights leaving a U.S. airport.
Oh, that was from the guy from New York? I saw that.
Yeah.
And it was
other purposes.
The FDA cleared the vaccine, right?
Yeah. The FDA didn't clear the vaccine. The FDA did not approve the vaccine. That is actual fake news. Yeah, they
I mean,
they
fuck
renewed.
the FDA though. Like, I'm not going to wait around for the FDA to approve.
I mean,
something.
agreed.
They
Agreed.
literally just approved like an Alzheimer's medication that causes like massive brain swelling in like 40% of people who take it. So fuck the FDA.
No, but like the argument is, oh, the FDA approved it now. Now they're going to pass plans. The FDA didn't approve it. The media is actually lying because they're using an appeal to authority to convince people to do it now that it's approved.
I mean, they always
but
do.
it was not approved.
Yeah, that shit's insane. See, like, I'm like 100% against like vaccine mandates. Like, I have health issues that are like, I'm not taking the risk of getting the vaccine because my health issues actually stemmed from a vaccine injury when I was a teenager, and I still struggle with it. So like, I ain't fucking around with that. I will, like, more power to everybody who wants to get it. Like, I think that's awesome. Go do your thing. I just like, you know, I don't feel like this is a political issue whether you have a vaccine or not, but like, totally against mandates. But when it comes to this, like, you have to show proof of vaccination to like go do stuff. Why can't it be like proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test? Like, I don't. There's so many people that
positive
fall in that
antibody
gray.
tests, or like it has
So,
to be. It should
again,
be something more substantial.
That's the problem with the tests that they have, the quick tests.
They're not even good.
I forget which country.
There's like a ton of issues with the test. Like, it'll pick up any. Like,
There's some like some shit garbage tier fucking sub-Saharan African country. I know that's probably racist, but I just think all of Africa is garbage tier.
You're like, I don't know what's below the
some
Sahara.
shithole countries.
Where like the president of the country allowed the import of vaccine of COVID tests, provided that the military take them and inspect them. And the first thing he did was had 100 of the tests given samples and sent back for results, and every single test came back positive. And he's like, it's weird because we sent them goat saliva, we sent them apple juice, we sent them they did not send them any human saliva. They just put a human name on every test, and it was all random shit, and they came back positive for COVID.
Yep. No, because like
juice.
the CDC like halted all development and like said you can't sell or you can't use any of the like privately developed tests. And they said that they had to have their tests, and then that was like the standard internationally. It's fucking stupid. The whole fucking thing was bungled.
Well, yeah, it was stupid. It was bungled, but at least now, next time we know better. So this way, next time around, we know we can't trust them.
Well, I mean, we know that. I don't think the majority of the public does. Like, they'll just be like, "Oh, okay, it sounds good. Let's keep doing."
So what we need to do
we
is
got work to do. We got propaganda.
We have a lot of work to do. We do. Dude, we have propaganda out the ass to make.
We need to point to like successful examples of like voluntary action. Like you look at South Korea. South Korea allowed the tests to be used immediately, even though they had evidence that the tests were showing false positives, because they knew the tests were not showing false negatives. They were only showing false positives. And they didn't mandate anything. They had no quarantine regulation. They had no mandated lockdown. They just encouraged people. They said, listen, if you test positive, you should quarantine for 2 weeks so you don't spread it. And like, if you get a false positive, that's better than a false negative and you spreading it. And people voluntarily quarantined after being able to be given information about their status. And South Korea is
stoked to quarantine. I think they're excited.
Well, the problem is like they kept it quiet in the U.S. for months. Like it was here in fucking December. Like, they didn't sound the alarm until what, February, March. Like it was already here. It was already everywhere.
I remember. I'm pretty sure we all got it. I'm pretty sure anybody who went to Liberty Forum in New Hampshire in 2020, the one I helped organize, got COVID.
I heard there was like a massive unknown respiratory illness outbreak in the primaries down in New Hampshire, like in February. Or something.
Yeah, no, it was primary weekend in New Hampshire, and we had Liberty Forum. It was the weekend of February 1st, 2020, and myself and Rachel Goldsmith were running Liberty Forum, and I was in charge of the speakers. I brought in people from all over the world. Like I brought in people from Canada, from Europe, from Asia to speak on stuff, as well as like DC and across the country to speak at Liberty Forum. Like the second day of Liberty Forum, volunteers were calling out sick.
Nope.
I remember at our convention this last year, it was December of 2020. And so we were quite a ways in, what was that at that point, 9 months or so into this. And so just as the first COVID babies were starting to get born, we had our convention. And I remember everybody was like, oh, well, do we need to put masks on? Is that the rules of the convention? And I was like, well, we Libertarians own the building. So no, we shouldn't have to put masks on. And then as soon as we hit like 10 people or whatever it was, the mandate kicked in, and then we had to mask up. And so as soon as we like walked out of the main site, you know, where everybody from the road could see, there was no masks. And then when we were in the front, because you understand though, we are literally 500 feet from a police station. And this was still kind of early on. We didn't know how they were going to enforce it. And the last thing we really wanted to do was have an entire convention of libertarians go against the cops all at one time. There just wasn't going to be, it would have been fun, but it wouldn't have been a good look.
That sounds like my fantasy.
It really is.
Dude, we were, go ahead. Sorry.
But when I was during my speech, my nomination speech, when I said purpose, motivation, and direction, that's not what I had in mind. You know?
Why not though? Like,
I mean, I've got revolution on the brain. Don't get me wrong. But the Old Town Police Department, it's such a small target, you know.
It's like, guys,
yeah, it's
remember,
not the hill to die on. Like,
right.
The Second Amendment is not about hunting and putting food on your table. It's about killing government agents.
It's about killing tyrants.
Hell yeah, brother. I actually have like 6 water guns on my porch right now, so I'm gonna double fist it.
Water guns.
It's emoji safe.
Yeah.
Brain tumor. You're right though. It's not the hill to die on. There are much bigger things to do. Like, and we were able to do some much bigger things here in Maine.
Yeah.
We have a whole list of shit to do next session, and we're looking to get some folks elected and running a governor candidate who's going to shake things up and putting them on a path to get on the debate stage so they can destroy the 270-year-olds they'll be against.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. You have to be strategic with that stuff. Like, I'm always in favor of going against the cops and telling them to eat shit. But, you know,
people need to remember we will always outnumber the police.
Yeah.
We'll outnumber anybody if we actually care. What is this thing? It's the quote from this dude, Alex K. I put it up on my Twitter earlier. It says, he said, defense of a nation requires, above all, virtuous risk takers with their boots on the ground. Adam K. Adam Korzeniewski. He's Polish. But it's like, that's what you need. Just people. People in the place.
Yeah.
And people who are willing to say hard truths, and then people who are willing to face the consequences that the government tries to impose on them. Because the unfortunate fact is,
like, we have to kind of respect, like, certain people, like, don't want to become martyrs for the movement, because, like, some people have a lot to lose, and especially if it's, like, not the battle that's going to win the revolution. Like, you know, we can't, like, oh, you guys are pussies because you're not gonna oppose every single little thing. It's like, you know, I really don't want to go to jail and be away from my children because I didn't wear, you know, a face diaper at Walmart. Like,
it's true.
Whatever.
But also, if you have a lot to lose, you have a lot to lose from the state. You know.
Oh, sure.
The battle exists on both fronts.
Like,
you know,
strategically, yeah. Like, I'm not gonna go to jail over a fucking Walmart mask mandate, but like, I might go to jail over a gun confiscation
or forced vaccinations.
Nobody takes my water
shit.
guns.
You know, I'll go to jail if you're gonna make my kids get vaccinated or some shit. You know,
nobody stops me from making other people wet.
I want to make
that might be the line of the night.
Like a Gadsden flag. Somehow I'm gonna do that. Wow.
I wish you had liquid in your mouth. That would have been perfect.
I would have spit, yeah.
So, no, not the Gadsden. Let's just take it a step further.
That's R. Kelly's slogan, by the way.
The motto of the 26th Infantry Division of the United States Army is keep your powder dry. You can work with that.
There you go.
The cat's trying to eat my microphone.
Harrison can't.
I mean, you know, when you hit a certain age, everybody's shooting dry powder. That's just kind of the way it works. You know, once you hit around 70, it just looks like those that dehydrated milk you take when you go camping.
Do you have a lot of experience with 70-year-old pussy?
No, 70-year-old dudes.
Oh.
They pay better.
Do you have a lot of experience with that too?
Well, you know, when you work in the healthcare industry.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm a janitor, so.
But he works at the hospital.
No, I don't. I have scrubs. I feel like I want to write a book on something I know absolutely nothing about and write it under a fake name, but pretend I'm a specialist and see how well it does.
Well, have you thought about the field of marketing? Because that's 99% of marketers.
You know, and the thing that sucks is I just suck at marketing. I'm great at sales. I'm great at the interpersonal part of it, but I suck at the marketing part of it.
Well, I don't know if you know this. I have a Patreon to teach people digital marketing. Hint, hint.
Hey, I've tried to hire you for I needed to bring you in for my LP, but then you never responded to my Facebook message.
You do never respond, yeah. Caitlin. You are terrible.
Okay, I am 200 messages deep on Facebook Messenger, and it's impossible.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
try and keep up. It's just it's bad. I went offline for like 2 weeks and it got backed up, and then like 3 weeks later I went off for another week, and it's literally impossible.
I already have approval.
Twitter DMs are better because I only have like 5 of those that I've ever had. So yeah, I don't.
All right, cool.
Much. Yeah.
So I've already gotten approval from my board to spend the money to hire you to teach us. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I'm just waiting on you.
Okay. Yeah. Let's chat. Yeah, no, it's just for everyone out there. I have a Patreon. I teach digital marketing. It's super dope, and it's laced with like big sexual innuendo throughout the whole Patreon, even though there's no feet pics or anything. So, hit me out.
Not a single one.
Like the whole thing is called like just the tips.
You realize people would
marketing tips,
like that.
And then one of the levels is like you're in, and then the last level, like the $50 level, is OnlyFans. But really, it's just marketing advice.
And I do something. I don't do the marketing side of it. I do more of the platform writing and the prepping people for interviews, helping them write out their survey responses and things like that.
Yeah, you were dope on the Pressman campaign while you're on there, and I know you've been a big help to Scott in that area.
Yeah, Scott actually helping Scott has really helped me to get my newest book really fine-tuned, because as I'm helping him do this stuff, I'm also writing it for the book, and I'm like feeding him and sending him chapters, so he's got the whole book just out of order. You know, it's kind of a neat project.
Elliot says all we need is Carnegie. How to fucking win friends. Elliot, as someone who's worked in sales my entire career, I can tell you, if you're using Carnegie to teach yourself how to sell, you haven't sold anything.
Yeah.
Elliot, the thing I said about OnlyFans, I have the digital marketing Patreon, and like I just laced it with like sexual innuendo, even though it's not sexual in any way. And cause kind of I'm a perpetual shit poster. So like the last tier or whatever on Patreon is called OnlyFans, and the other ones are like you're in and other shit, and it's called Just Tips. So yeah, not an actual OnlyFans, just a joke.
The last tier on my Patreon is for you to buy my silence. If you want to chip up $20,000 a month, I delete the channel and all my social media, and you'll never hear from me in Liberty Politics again. No.
Damn it.
That's the price of Justin O'Donnell is like $120,000 a year or whatever, or $220,000.
I'm giving Archie an attainable goal. All right.
Hey, you know what? Okay, like Archie gets a lot of shit, and I don't necessarily disagree with all of it, but like he's not that bad. Like, okay, so he just made like a really long post the other day in like the Libertarians discussion group about how like we need to treat everyone in the Mises Caucus as individuals and stop painting everyone with a broad brush and like be fair, because there's a lot of really great people. Like he's pretty good at like taking the nuanced route on stuff. I'm soft.
He's the one painting the broad brushes when he comes after everyone else stuff. Like
it is a little weird there.
He's also wrong about the individuals a lot.
I helped Archie. I helped Archie get elected state chair in Vermont. I helped, like, Jeremy Ryan. I convinced Jeremy Ryan to step down because I was the LNC rep for the region at the time, and Jeremy Ryan was a do-nothing chair, and he wasn't involving. I had to hunt him down to get a regional report from him for my regional reports for the LNC, and he was just like, he's a great guy. I love Jeremy, but he did nothing as chair. And Archie was the one who was motivated, who wanted to do stuff. And Archie came to me as the Mises Caucus candidate for chair to ask for help getting elected. And I helped Archie whip the votes and get elected in Vermont. And since then, it's just been like woke.
All right, so I'm watching the chat here. Yeah, so no marketing book is good. That's pretty on point. If you do want like marketing advice and stuff like that, like, you know, how-to stuff, go to Marketo. So Adobe has like a portion of Adobe that's called like Marketo Engage or whatever. It's really, really good. They have these definitive guides that you can download for free, and I love them. They're like 150-page long PDFs, like in-depth how-to stuff for marketing. So go to Marketo and get those for free. That's one of my tricks. I taught myself all my marketing stuff. I didn't go to college for it. I was a college dropout, actually.
College is a waste of money.
It is. And especially in marketing, it's like you can learn this stuff. It took me 4 years, but I did. And yeah, no, I taught myself and had to sort through all the bullshit out there, because everyone who gets an Instagram account and gets like 5 likes on a post is like, oh my God, I'm like a marketer.
Yeah,
like, that's
influence. And then they write a book.
Once you can learn how to sort through the noise, like there's a lot of good shit out there. And HubSpot has HubSpot Academy, which is free, and you can take courses on marketing, and it's awesome. And Facebook has Facebook
CRM
Blueprint.
program.
Yep.
So,
Facebook.
Elliot, the problem with Carnegie is you are going to get nothing out of Carnegie that you couldn't get better out of working one day in a customer service call center.
Well, I'll say this too. If you're into libertarianism, which everyone listening to this better be, otherwise you're fed, then I would say you definitely want to get into Grant Cardone, because Grant Cardone talks like an Austrian economist with a really deep Southern accent. The dude will talk how everything that you're doing is about helping someone achieve an end. And that's how you're kind of framing your sales pitches and how you're framing your closes and how you're framing the way that you're gaining information, is because you're trying to help someone achieve an end. You're trying to help them buy something. And it's a really, really interesting way to look at sales and to think about sales, especially if you're new to sales.
If you want a crash course on just how to have a basic conversation when you're talking to people, my shameless self-promotion here. A nice, solid little 98-page read that you can finish in 2 hours. That'll give
Why would
you...
anyone listen to you on how to talk to people? You're just as socially awkward as the rest of us. I'm kidding. It's just a joke.
Why do Aetna and United Healthcare pay me to teach their employees how to talk to people?
No, that's dope. No, you're good. I just had to make the libertarian joke because we're fiscally conservative and socially awkward.
Well, that's the thing, is I didn't come to libertarianism through books. I didn't come to libertarianism through policy. And back when I was on the LNC and they used to drag me around to speak at conventions, I used to give the same talk that, like, a lot of people, like, how they're, where they excel is based on where they came from. And a lot of the libertarians that just read books, they're policy wonks. They're not good candidates. They're not good marketers. They're not good salespeople. They're great policy people. They are great behind the scenes writing plans and schematics and even campaign plans. But they are not good speakers and policy people. But you get a lot of people in the liberty movement who are, what am I saying here? They don't come from the books. They don't come from the academic approach. They come from personal experience because they were victims. Those tend to be your single issue activists, like Lynn Ulrich. Lynn Ulrich came to the liberty movement because her son got thrown in prison as a political prisoner, not because she's an academic libertarian. She's a single issue activist on criminal justice reform, and she's the best libertarian activist on criminal justice reform we have in the entire movement. Maj Toure comes as a black guy deprived of his Second Amendment rights in a liberal city, and he's one of our best Second Amendment activists that we have in the movement. Pretty shit on some other stuff, I wish he would stay his lane and only talk about the Second Amendment. But we have a lot of people like that. And then you have like people like myself and Adam Kakesh, who weren't necessarily victims, but came from the oppressive class in the military in recognition of what we had done wrong, who come to an understanding and how we can communicate people with our anti-militarism approaches because of something we lived and have an emotional connection to. And that's basically the crux of my whole book. I gave it away.
Yeah. Everyone needs to realize, like, there's
Elliot, you
for
can.
People in the movement, like, not everyone has to be a messenger for liberty. We need people building databases. We need people, building the CRMs and building the campaign plans and doing the back end work. You don't have, and if you're not good at messaging, shut the fuck up and let people who are good at doing it do it. Like, and I did come through like the academic portion. Like, I got involved because of the Dakota Access Pipeline, but then like I didn't really do the party thing right off the bat. I went into the debate groups and was reading the books, and I was like a heavy ideological, philosophical focus for like 2 years. But I also,
you don't want to give away too much of next week's episode, but
right. But like I don't know, like I got involved that way, but I also at the same time was getting into the marketing portion of it. So it was like I'm not super great at the face-to-face stuff because, well, I mean, I am a libertarian, so there's that. But when it comes to digital communications, like I have a lot of success. Like I know for a fact, like things that I've written have converted like thousands upon thousands of people, and like that's kind of dope. Like
it helps that you write for Spike, who can then get up and talk about what you wrote.
Well,
yeah.
I was
like I've done a lot of candidates like before Spike, and like it's all about like getting the code switching and stuff, right? But like once I got moved over to Spike's team, like that's where like the magic happened, because he had the raw talent, he had the policy, and he had the stuff, and then I brought the other side of it, and then combined we created this messaging style. I was like, so much.
So how do we get Spike to run in 2024?
Can we not? I don't want to.
You don't want to.
No.
But like, just saying, like, what's
because
best
I would be the
for
comms
party?
director, and I don't want to do that.
What's best for the party, Caitlin? What's best for the party?
What's best for the party? You know what?
What's best for New Hampshire? I mean, come on.
What's best for the party is focusing on local for the next 4 years.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest keys that anybody who's trying to grow the movement, whether you're a good communicator or not, even if you're just having a conversation with someone at an event and they're saying like, hey, I want to sign up, I want to be on the email list or whatever. If you really want to connect with these people, ask them what their biggest issues are. Ask them like what affects how you vote. That'd be an interesting ticket. Just try to connect with them. Don't give them a question where there's a wrong answer. If you ask them like, what kind of libertarian are you? There's a wrong answer. They might not even know what kind of libertarian they are, or they might just think, well, I'm a libertarian. Like why does there need to be a disclaimer on there?
Honestly,
so
if you're doing a first touch point contact with potential voters, not even mentioning libertarian.
Yeah, I'm saying like when you're at an event or something like that,
toxic word.
Like if you're at an LP event, libertarian stuff comes up. But yeah, when you're at a campaign, you don't want to talk about what kind of libertarian are you, or even ask them if they're part of the party necessarily or any of that. You just want to stick to the candidate. Yeah, stick to the issues and ask them. That's a great time actually to ask people what affects how they vote, because that gives you a great feel for who's coming out to your events, what issues are important to them, what should you be highlighting, maybe what should you start to readjust your policies on, because that's not what is going to win you votes. And that doesn't mean that you need to get soft on an issue. It means that maybe you've picked 5 issues, but those aren't the 5 that connect. It's 3 of the ones you have, and then 2 of the ones you put on the back burner. So you don't need to adjust who you are. You just need to adjust how you present yourself. And
it might be the right issue, but you're just messaging it the wrong way too.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing. It's like you don't have to like water down, your principles. You can still have the most radical as fuck principles. It's just how you make that connection to where people are. Like you go in, you talk about them, and you don't just talk about like, well, what do you care about? But it's more like, what is what is the thing that's affecting like your innate like desires and drive like as human being? Like what drives you as a person, and how can like we help make that, you know, more, I guess, beneficial for you? Like how can we help you succeed and be more prosperous? And just like connecting with people on that level. Like, yeah, you know, like there's a lot of like violence in my neighborhood and things like that, and that affects my day to day. And then you can talk about, and don't even go into the solutions or your platform right away. Just talk about the root causes, like why it is the way it is. Ask a ton of questions, because above all, people love to hear themselves talk. So let them talk, because they're gonna like you a lot more if they can talk for at least 2 minutes. So just let them talk about themselves, and they'll already have a good impression of you. And then you can talk about the root causes, and then you can talk about like hyper individualized solutions to these things if you like know your shit and you're decent on philosophy.
Well, then I find that when you can agree on the causes of a problem, even if you don't agree on the solutions, you're going to have a much more peaceful conversation, which allows you to reach out to that person later on. Because
that was the whole point of like Oliver trying to reach out to Shu. That was the whole point of inviting Shu on a bunch of libertarian podcasts, is because like she's almost there. Like if you watch her content, she's almost there. She's a left libertarian for sure, anti-state, anti-corporate, hellscape, like wants a social safety net, but like believes in individual liberty, and she's just almost there turning it over. And like I first started my back and forth with her after the LP&H tweet scandal with the legalized child labor tweets, and she messaged me. She's like, "What the fuck are they doing? Like, fuck them! Like, telling me I should take back over the account." I'm like, "I'm not going to take over the account again." But like the point, like the friend made to me is like, the point of that tweet shouldn't have been to just piss off the entire internet, because the people it pissed off were the people who were almost there. They were people like Shu and her fans who are almost there, and they should be the people we're going after, not the people we're driving away.
I think there should be some kind of requirement,
like
and I know this is status as fuck, whatever. Like okay, first of all, it's a private organization, not a fucking government. But I think there should be some kind of like either requirement or like qualification that people have whenever they take over social media accounts to know what the fuck they're doing. Like, for fuck's sake, let's not have edgy little frat bros taking over Twitter accounts who have never managed a fucking Twitter account besides their own like frog-faced Twitter profile. Like, they need to have an understanding of social media marketing, general digital marketing, you know, fucking lead funnels, conversion, like things like that. You have
well,
to
the thing is, like, you can
this
be
shit.
edgy. You can be as edgy as you want if you do it
you
right.
have to be empathetic.
And Bill, to the point I think you're trying to make, a lot of people liked that tweet. It got huge positive interaction.
A lot of very regular people were like, the only reason I had a job when I was 12, 14 was because some guy was like, I don't care what the law is. I'll fucking help you out, kid.
Here's the problem: is that tweet?
You need some money, bro.
That tweet didn't change anyone's mind. The people who
Gary
agreed
Johnson
with it
was mad.
The people who agreed with that tweet were people who already agree with us. There are people that we don't need to reach on that issue.
That was a confirmation bias tweet. Yes.
No, but the choir does need to be preached to.
Those things were okay to talk about in a certain way. You have to talk about those things in like. People are not there. People aren't like, oh yeah, we just need to like abolish these things. We have to explain. Twitter does not have a character limit. It is a myth. It does not have a character limit. There is a thing called tweet threads. Fucking utilize them. I have so much success with Twitter threads. They're fucking super popular.
They actually increase your exposure on the algorithm too.
I'm not here to talk down to Twitter threads or whatever, but I will say there's people out there, regular people out there, who do agree with us, who don't know that's a libertarian stance, to say like, yeah, a dude who needs some work at his shop should be allowed to hire a 12 or 14-year-old who needs some bucks. It's like, it's an unpopular message, but it's also perfectly libertarian. There's nothing wrong with putting it out there. And it also is a beacon for the people who get it. And
yes, for the people who get it,
as Harrison said, not a lot of people. As Harrison said, but being in New Hampshire is like, we're not a lot of people. We're trying to bring people to New Hampshire in general. Like, I'm like a New Hampshire Libertarian Party guy. I'm a Mississauga guy. I'm a Free State Project guy. I want all the libertarians to live here. For real. And I don't care what group
Can you
I'm
pick
in.
a state that isn't cold as fuck, though?
Come back,
Are you too
Caitlin.
afraid to wear a coat?
She's one of us at heart, Bill.
I mean, I
live in
get it. No,
Lowell.
listen, I'm not. It's not even like one of us. It's literally just wear a coat because there's more libertarians in New Hampshire than there are in any other part of the world.
Bill, I'm gonna actually use Elliot as an example here, because Elliot is a perfect example of radical messaging backfiring. When Elliot was running for state rep in a special election in a fairly Republican district, he said some radical libertarian shit like "fuck the police." And lost.
I wouldn't say fuck the police though. I feel like there's a way.
No, you say darn the police.
I wouldn't even say that.
Gosh darn those rascals!
So I went on a local radio show 2 days ago, and I made a big deal, and I pissed off everybody on the left, on the right, because I said the COVID thing is a huge fiasco that didn't have to exist. It's being overblown. And I was like, the police have to enforce it, so fuck them too. I didn't say fuck them too, but I was like, so, and if you are like a conservative who's against lockdowns and you're supporting the police and all this stuff, you're just as bad as the left, you know? And I even quoted Michael Malice. I was like, the police are the enforcement arm of the progressive left, which is, it's facts. And everybody was pissed off at me. But the reality is, like, we have to be able to piss everybody off, and then the certain people who do get it will get it. And I don't care if they move here or don't move here. The idea is you have to be a beacon for those people. And like, child labor laws should be abolished. If you're an anarchist, you believe that. So what the fuck is the problem?
I absolutely do believe that, but there's a right way and a wrong way to message that. That's the thing. It's like I'm not arguing the principles at all. Like, I think they're very libertarian principles, but it's the way you present that to the public, especially in a public forum kind of thing like Twitter. You can't like hyper target your audience and stuff like that.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that you could put out a tweet about child labor laws that would get 12.4 million responses? I challenge you to do so if you think you could.
Yes.
Then by all means, I'm just saying go for it. I'm just saying,
do it, Caitlin.
And send me a screenshot because I support you if you can't do it. Like, and if it's not that, then do it a different way. I'm just saying, like, in New Hampshire, we haven't done that before. That was a success on our books. Like, so you can't, like, well, I'm not going to hate on it from a
you look at vanity metrics. So you have to read analytics properly. It's not just one metric. You have to look at all the metrics, and then you have to weigh them in a sort of ratio kind of way. It's hard to explain because I think in pictures and diagrams, fucking Rain Man. But hang on, my kid's knocking on the window. Hi. Okay. Anyways. So no, you can't just look at one metric, right? It's okay. You got a lot of.
So what metric are you looking at that I'm missing?
No, but what was the brand reputation score on that? What was the positive and the negative on that? And you can tell that by weighing those vanity metrics and then digging deeper into the actual analytics, not just the vanity metrics. And I did dig into those analytics, and they weren't actually that great.
Yeah. So Jeremy, Bill, everyone was defending the only single metric, which was the total number of impressions. That's the first metric Twitter gives you. It's the very first thing Twitter shows you.
I'm aware of this. I'm aware of this. I'm fully aware of this. If you're going to reach,
what was your conversion rate?
Hear me out. If you're going to reach 100 people and convert, 5%, you're getting 5 people.
But the conversion rate was less than 0.1%.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're getting 12.4 million people, what's 0.1% of that? It's a lot more than fucking 5.
It was about 120.
Yeah, I was going to say it's about 124.
Still a lot more than 5.
Okay, I understand that's the root number 120. Like, yes, that's 120
how many
more
times
people.
More than 5 is that? I can't do the math right now, but it's a lot more than 5.
Okay, you have to weigh that against the negative impact that does to your brand reputation. Because that you might have got you 120 people, but you turned off 60,000 people that were hot leads that would have converted if it was worded a different way.
A whole bad tweet. Oh no.
That's that's the 21st century, Bill. That's the 21st century.
Now, if somebody's understanding of libertarianism is so shallow that one tweet turns them off of it,
actively anti-racist tweet. It was just one bad tweet.
I'm against it. And listen, it's one bad tweet, but also the rest of her messaging wasn't that good.
I mean,
it wasn't like she had another thing. That was the biggest tweet she ever had, and it was the worst tweet she ever had.
The first month was pretty dope, though, right?
What's that?
The first month of her social media was pretty dope, though.
Yeah, but then you quit.
I
did
never
not
hear about it. I didn't
Would you
hear
get
anything
fired?
first. Oh, that was you?
I got moved over to Spike's team.
Reassigned.
Gotcha.
I was reassigned.
You should have stayed on Joe's. It probably would have been better.
Well, I didn't really have a choice in that. Fine.
Fair. Fair.
So we're coming up late on this, guys, and we have one more thing to do. Let me pull something out.
Hopefully I win.
We have a drawing, and we're going to draw.
Hey,
Oh, what a
David
turn.
wins.
Yeah.
David wins after not being able to say anything when he popped in on a call earlier.
Oh, he earned it. He did a lot of
what did he
work
win?
for no content.
David won a care package. I'll send you a picture of what's in it before I send it out to him.
Yes.
But
Can you
David-
add some things for me?
I can probably.
Oh, thank you.
But David and or Caitlin message me David's mailing address later, and we can get that sent out to you.
Okay. I'm going to send you my mailing address so I can give it to him.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Well,
I just want to say I'm not trying to convert everybody to be libertarian.
No.
I'm not. It's not going to happen. A lot of people are like tiny authoritarians, as revealed by mask mandates, vax mandates, whatever. Most people, probably more than 50%, tiny authoritarians. I'm not trying to get mass appeal. That's not my thing. I'm trying to get libertarians. So when with a message like that, if it gets 124, and there was another message that would have converted 0 but gotten 5 likes, yeah, I picked that one 1,000 times out of 1,000 times.
So that's kind of a false dichotomy, right? Like, you don't have to pick one group of people to convert. You can go out there and message to the
I'm not trying to convert.
undiscovered libertarians. You can also go message to leftists, and you can message to conservatives, and you can message to all these different groups of people.
Totally. But not every tweet has to message every group of people.
Oh, I'm fully aware of that. I know that. But whenever you're going to make statements like that, you have to realize that all of these groups of people see that. So you have to...
More of them saw it than ever before, probably.
Yeah, and they have
They have preconceived notions about that, yeah, but some of them who don't were awakened. It's listen.
Do you have
if you're
data
gonna
on that?
I mean, listen. If you look at comments online, if you look at, I have friends who worked. I have like leftist friends who I talk to in person. I don't really have like data from online. I've been like, listen, what was your first job? Was it legal?
A lot
of people,
listen,
it's
I'm
like,
not
it's not.
arguing the child
It's
labor
not.
thing. I'm not arguing that at all.
So, but what I'm saying is,
arguing the
even
way it was
leftists,
messaged.
rightists, I don't care what side of the spectrum you're on. When you have individual conversations, people are like, yeah, I get it. My first job, like somebody let me work.
Yeah, but there's a difference between individual conversations and a tweet. Like, it could have been expanded on. You could have had that one tweet, but then
the difference is that the real conversation is
on
even better than the tweet, and so you get an even better response than you would. So it's
okay. I'm saying you could have had that tweet worded maybe slightly differently, but then
So how would
expanded
you
on it and
word
actually
it?
explained the root causes, the solutions, and how it is libertarian and how it solves problems in people's lives. You could have talked about those stories and not relied on like.
I'm pretty sure there was a follow-up about how.
All right, I'm gonna stop you guys right here because I don't want Caitlin to answer that question now because Caitlin's gonna answer that question on the 30th.
Oh yeah.
At 6 p.m. when you guys tune in for the next episode.
Yeah. And I'm gonna rant for another 3 fucking hours. No, I'm sorry.
And if you're
I get
not
really
like
heated,
Bill-
and I respect the fuck out of you, and like don't take any of this
No, you're good.
personally. I'm not.
No,
yeah,
you're
it's
good.
fun.
You're good.
I love this shit.
And if you're not like Bill and you actually do want to convert people to libertarianism, check out my latest book, Closing Freedom. That's literally what it's all about. You know, buy my book and Justin's book, and between the two, you're going to be a fucking Liberty Sales pro.
Yo, Justin, can you throw my Twitter handle in the chat?
I'm doing it now.
You're awesome. So my personal Twitter, when he's throwing it, that's mostly shit posting. Occasionally I'll get really angry at people and I'll do like a long ass tweet thread on like somebody or something. It's a thing. I did one today on Victoria Newland because everyone was like, oh yay, McCain's dead. And it was like, I mean, I was on that train, obviously. And then we were talking shit on Cheney. I was like, you know what? We need to hate on another warmonger. So I did a 13 tweet thread on Victoria Nuland, and it's dope. So that's what I use my personal Twitter for. That and like posting memes about corn and shit and whatever. But you can follow Spike Cohen at Real Spike Cohen. That's where a lot of my more well thought out actual marketing shit goes. So.
All right. Well, we are late, coming up on our 3-hour mark. Caitlin just gave her plug for social media. For whoever's left, give your plugs. Bill, where can everyone follow you?
Just follow me. Bill is a joke. That's it right there on the screen. That's me. You know, don't ask me about my ideas for dual citizenship. Yeah.
And Harrison.
You can find me on Twitter at HarrisonKemp13. You can find me at harrisonkemp.com. And you can find me on Amazon by simply typing my name into the search bar. You can get A Parasite's Paradise, a brief inquiry into the causes and solutions surrounding homelessness, and Closing Freedom, a sales guide for today's liberty activist, all at very low costs on Prime, shipped right to your house.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. It's been a long night, you guys. Caitlin, I will see you next week. Bill, I'll probably see you this weekend. Harrison, and I'll see you on September 11th.
Yes, sir.
And everybody else.
Flying planes together?
Well, no, I got an announcement.
Yeah.
Actually, Bill, I don't think it'll be too far from you. You should come to it.
Let me know what to jerk off to, and I'll come.
We may be able to
September. So let me throw this event out for anyone in Maine or New Hampshire who is close by. On September 11th, the Libertarian Party of Maine is doing a Defend the Guard / Bring Our Troops Home rally. It's actually a 2-phase event. So at 9 a.m. at Tannery Park in Howland, Maine, we will be doing our first phase of the event, having some local libertarians come out who are also combat veterans, talk about what their experience of being in combat and then transitioning over to being anti-war was like and why they support this legislation. And then we're taking a 2-hour trip down to Madison to the American Legion, where the gentleman who put forward the Defend the Guard legislation this last session and the sponsor who sponsored it will be speaking. And then I will be wrapping the day up with a whole host of things, why this is important, what we're doing to make it happen, fundraising call, and a very special announcement for 2022. So,
and ahead of that, if you guys want to prepare for that day, whether you're going to be in Maine or New Hampshire at Harrison's rally, or if you're going to be in DC or at one of the other End the Damn Wars rallies that Magnus is organizing across the country, I know they got a big one springing up in Arizona that's affiliated as well as several other, so that you can check endthedamnwars.com for. You might want to prepare by going to get yourself on snexswag.com, the always sponsor your very own Already Against the Next War t-shirt. As always, free shipping on all orders. All right. It's been a great night. You guys are awesome. I love you all.
Thank you for having us, Justin. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of comments.
Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to catch more, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications for future episodes. You can follow me directly on Twitter at O'Donnell, the number 4NH, to keep up to date with what I'm working on. And if you want to be among the first to support this channel, check out our Patreon link in the description. And as always, don't forget to head on over to snexswag.com to get your freshest Liberty swag today. Until next time, be free, everybody.